Hello and welcome to the post-credit show.
That credit thing didn't go as slow as I anticipated it to be.
What, the intro?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're quick, baby. No one wants to stick around. The newscast one's long. This one's like, I'm going to make this one like a 10-seconder. Welcome to the Barrel Roll post-credit show where we talk about games we've played, movies we've watched, and other sort of nerd junk we've done. I'm Nick.
I'm Chris.
Cool.
We did introductions in the...
We did not do introductions in the last. Our names are in those credits. They're all
They
our
should
faces.
just know
They should
us.
know us by now. Darn it. Either way,
You go ahead.
cool.
I am paying attention to you.
Sure you are. Endgame came out this week.
Did it?
It did. So I bought it, and instead of watching the movie, I watched the commentary.
We know the movie. You don't,
Oh well, and so that's the
you
piece.
don't need to.
I know the movie. And on top of that, I always have liked the behind the scenes stuff to films.
Yeah.
And knowing sort of why did they do this, or why did they make this choice, or why did they, go this way or that way. So, for instance, like, movie starts off, it's Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye.
Yes.
That scene was actually supposed to be at the tail end of Infinity War.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, so that one was supposed to be there, and they're like, it didn't really make sense for us to jump from space to Wakanda, and then all of a sudden to this farm, and a character you haven't seen the entire movie. So for them, they used it as like a, hey, remember how we killed everybody? And they're like, so gut punch right at the beginning of the movie worked way better than confusion at the end of another one.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Makes sense.
And then they're like, and when Jeremy Renner appears later in the movie, you're not having to go back a year and be like, oh, remember when...
I don't think that would have been an issue.
Not for most of us, but again, they have to think in terms of, like, my wife, who watched Infinity War, kind of paid attention. Well, really, like, she's not... Like, she watches the movies and goes, that was good.
Yeah.
Or that, I'm not watching one of those again, or whatever it happens to be. But, like, when it comes to Endgame, she's not going to be like, oh, right, I remember when Captain America said that 12 movies ago, and now it's finally paying off. Like,
I could do this all day.
Right.
Yeah.
like, yeah, when that joke hits, it's like, most of the theaters like, general audience is very much like, what's the funny?
Yeah.
And we just don't think that way. Like, I always try and look at it from that perspective of like,
Or that he's worthy.
or the worthy. I knew it.
You get it.
Yeah. So yeah, like those little tidbits are very interesting. It was one of the Russo's daughters who played Hawkeye's kid.
Yes. I think I remember that.
And then one of his other daughters played one of the kids who comes up to the Hulk and asks for, like, he worked his family into the movie.
It's his last, but they're the last ones.
But even going all the way to, like, Tony Stark giving his own eulogy, they're like, we had that planned right from the bat when he's talking to his, mask.
Yeah.
On the ship. We're like, we set that up first thing, so at the end, when he pops up, like,
yeah.
It's not just like, where did he come from? And why are they playing stuff off of a mask? This is clearly something that Tony does.
Yeah.
The I Love You 3000 at the end that Tony Stark throws in was added after filming, which is why he doesn't say it on screen. Because they liked the line so much. Then you also get to the part of, like, we just created a super powerful being with a bunch of stones. What do we do? And one of them joked and said, let's kill him. And not even one of them, like someone outside of their little foursome was just like, why don't you just kill the guy? And they're like, okay.
Which time?
In the first
10 minutes?
whatever, 20 minutes or whatever, when they chop off his head and everything, they're like, oh, that's how we take him out of it. Because then we can introduce a different Thanos, because the Thanos that comes from 2014 is still like the more warmongery type. Yeah, he was the 2014 one. Yeah. No, not at the beginning. Like later on, they get to bring him in back from 2014.
From Guardians?
Yeah.
Was that 2014?
Yep. But yeah, so they get to bring that one in, and he's more of still like the I'm a warmonger instead of like a well thought out. Like he's that Thanos without the complete plan.
Yeah.
Like he's not the thinker. Like even he's
well,
still
the plan was there, it just didn't.
Right. But like the long game that he played throughout all of those movies he became more of a methodical, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna, like, his plan was solid, so solid that at the beginning of Infinity War he takes off his armor, whereas at the end of Endgame, like, he's ready for combat, like, he's still got the armor on, he's combat ready, he's good to go. So, but just all of the insights, like, by all of those people, like, oh yeah, we wanted this shot to do this and this shot to do that, and da 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 da. The only comment that I found kind of funny, and they kind of skirted around it really, really quickly, was Jarvis shows up.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is the first time like an MCU character is like transitioned from TV to, the movies.
Yeah.
And they didn't make the joke of like it hasn't happened because people don't talk. They made it off as like there was a very specific reason Jarvis was there. Like it's gonna connect to something else at some point later on. We just can't talk about it, kind of thing. So I'm like, so Agent Carter, something's gonna happen.
Well, maybe with the shield.
That's
Stuff.
So, but yeah, otherwise, like, very interesting. Like, it's an interesting enough commentary where, again, it's like I was telling you before, it's not like, I remember watching, I think it was Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and they had, like, the lighting director on.
Yeah.
And he's talking about, like, I used a soft light coming through this window with a slight pink tinge to denote this, and you're going, don't care.
So?
Like,
point is.
Yeah. Whereas the Russos worked on like every bit of it, the editing, the this, the that. They know like, oh, we added this sound effect there to really, hit home with this, or like they can throw the little fun tidbits in about sound and lighting.
Yeah.
But it's not the entire commentary where you're like, okay, I get it. There's a sunroof. It's great. Awesome. I'm so happy. Like, woo. Yeah. This one's more of the like, then we had to figure out how we were going to do this, so this is what we kind of planned out. And you're like, oh, cool. Cool. So, and they're good thinkers. Like, I think it was IGN that ran that story. Like, who, if they had the X-Men, who would they dust? Everybody but Wolverine, just to watch him go berserk. And I'm like...
I didn't watch it with sound, I just watched it with...
I just read the article.
I just watched it with their... Did that?
Yeah.
All the Ninja Turtles are still there.
Yeah.
All but one of the Backstreet Boys is gone.
They left the girls and Scooby-Doo alive.
And Scooby.
That's what I say. This girls and Scooby. Okay. They took out Shaggy and Fred.
Yeah. There was another one where they discovered of everybody. I can't remember what it was. Oh,
Friends. They took out everybody.
Was it Friends?
Yeah.
And then they went to Community.
Yeah.
Picture, and they only took out
Pierce.
Oh, there's some.
But yeah,
they shots there.
They took out everybody with Wolverine because they're like, that would make for a really good movie of like...
They did that. It's called Logan.
I know. But just Wolverine going crazy on Thanos. Like Thanos, like just,
taking his claws his claws would be cut off.
But just taking all of his anger out on that, like, one guy. Yeah. And having
he would
that
be
character.
Thor.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Except I don't think he'd get fat.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He wouldn't turn into Bro Wolverine.
But yeah, it was very interesting just to watch the thought process behind, how this joke came from here to there, or how this line came from here to there to mesh up. And, oh, we made this decision early to show you this part. Like Captain Marvel wasn't supposed to show up until she was just bringing the ship back from space.
Yeah.
Like you were just supposed to see a light in front of Tony.
Yeah.
And then it was going to cut to like them flying back to Earth sort of thing. And they're like, but we wanted to connect the post-credit scene to the, like essentially Captain Marvel gets to Earth, gets the skinny on what's going on. Rocket essentially is like, listen, like my friends are up in space, the tracking thing for the ship, like we can track it obviously.
Yeah.
Here, go find them, please.
So this is where it could last for.
Right. And she comes back with legitimately just Tony Stark and Nebula.
Yeah.
So yeah, the cool commentary if you have, 3.5 hours after you've watched Endgame. Just just keep rolling through. Watch those. Did I talk? No, I didn't watch it. Oh, God, I watched this in almost no time. I watched the entirety of The Boys on Amazon Prime.
How long is that?
8 episodes. They're about an hour long each. I started watching and just kept going.
Yeah. Well, there was a one thing I've tried to stay away from the boys spoiler wise.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a picture of, I'm pretty sure it's from the boys,
Yeah.
where they're in a superhero meeting.
Yeah.
And there's 3 of them on one side, and people replaced it with Game of Thrones, Star Wars, and DC. And the leader going, "You guys have screwed up everything," blah, 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 and turns, and there's a person sitting by themselves, and they have the Marvel logo.
Yeah.
Except for you guys.
Yeah, that's
It did good.
So, this is definitely and again, this is a comic book already. The Boys was already a comic. It's written, but you have to love that this is the dark DC universe of sorts.
Is it?
Homelander is a guy with laser eyes who can fly and has super strength.
He's the
leader.
American?
Yeah. He's the guy with the captain or the flag on his back, essentially. You have Queen, I forgot her name now, Queen Azealia or something like that, who wears a skirt and a top that's cut into like a kind of shape like yay, and a circlet, on top of her head. You have the guy that runs really fast. You have the guy that talks to fish, and you have the silent loner who sits in the corner in a dark costume. Batman.
Okay, yeah. It took me a second.
But so you almost have the complete Justice League.
Yeah.
One of them is retired. Oh no, and then you have you have the Invisible Man.
Okay.
They did change up a couple, obviously. So you have the Invisible Man, and then you have someone who was called the Lamplighter, and he's gone now. He retired.
Green Lantern.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the show almost kind of starts with they're holding auditions to see who's going to be the next 7, because that's what they're called, is the 7.
Okay.
But they're run by a corporation. They're not their own thing. They're actually a company.
Okay.
I think it's Vox is the company. It's spelt kind of funny.
Yeah.
But they're their own company. They actually privatize the superhero business. So if your city wants a superhero, you go through this company and you pay them millions of dollars, and they'll send you a superhero with the branding and all of the stuff that goes along with it.
Yeah.
So they'll advertise for your superhero. They'll give you press people for the superhero. That superhero comes with a team of people to make them look like a superhero.
Yeah.
And the whole point of the show is superheroes are actually kind of dicks because they have superpowers and they don't care.
Yeah.
And so that's where the show takes off, is this one guy, his girlfriend, who's almost his fiance, they've been together forever sort of thing.
Okay.
She gets killed by a superhero right in front of him just by standing marginally on the street. They're standing on the sidewalk, and she takes it a step off the curb, dead.
Okay.
And visceral, this show is definitely the warning comes up from Amazon that's this show has nudity and sex and violence and gore and it is 18 plus because of these things, and it's oh. And they show that in the first episode with the nerd guy who works at Circuit City. Essentially, his girlfriend's kind of cool, and she's the one that bites it in a very gory fashion.
Huh.
Right off the bat.
Just for standing on the street.
And so that's the point, is then the corporation with all their PR people's well, she was standing in the road. Accidents happen and it's unfortunate, but she was the one who was standing in the street. And this guy's no, she was taking a step off the curb, and subsequently something happened.
Yeah.
You guys should be held responsible. And he's gutless enough that he doesn't really do anything about it until he meets Carl Urban's character, who has also had something bad happen to him because of superheroes. One of the 7 specifically, so he's out to get them.
Judging by what I've seen, I think I know which one that he's going after.
And then you get the Aquaman guy, who's a douche, and uses his, and again, right off episode 1, where you have a Me Too moment with the new superhero that works her way in. She gets hired, and he's the one showing her around.
Yeah.
And he's well, you want a spot on the team? And she's I'm already on the team. He's yeah, but I'm number 2. And all of a sudden his pants are down. And you're oh,
penis.
Cool. The guy who turns invisible can only turn invisible when he's not wearing any clothes, because it's his skin that changes. It's not his clothes that change. So there's a few scenes where he's walking around completely naked. But that's how he, so he's a giant perv on top of it all because he can turn invisible. And he has to be naked at the same time. So there's that piece to it. They all have stupendously bad issues. Like, they're more human than the actual Justice League because, like, they're drunks and perverts and this and that. Like, they've got horrible issues that come with being celebrities that can't be touched.
I've heard it's very anti-Christian.
So there's a superhero who talks to Jesus and runs, like, rallies and baptizes people.
Oh, okay.
But he's a closeted gay guy.
Okay.
And there's a piece at one of these Christian rallies where, like, the newest superhero is supposed to be Christian-esque, and someone's like, well, have you had sex? And, you know, all, like, preteen girls are like, tee, and she's about to be like, well, yeah, like, as long as you love someone.
Yeah.
Like, giving a straight-out answer is as long as you love someone, what you do with them, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And, like, everybody turns to her, like, the PR people and the priest and everything, and she's like, no, I am a virgin, because she has to keep up appearances now. So, like, being a superhero is not just being a superhero. There's
status behind it.
Yes, and the PR attached to it all, and, like, all of that jazz, which is the coolest part of the show, because these people are trying to run a company, and their main goal of season 1 is to try and get super powered people into the military so that she can get military, like that company can get military contracts, because that pays billions as opposed to millions. But they have to get it through Congress, and they have to get it through this, and they have to get it through that. So
and all the while you have people for revenge.
And then you have this small subset of human beings who are trying to kill superheroes or take their revenge on superheroes one way or another, sort of thing.
Villains.
Yeah. Well, and then again, you end up with some of the superheroes who are legitimately good people.
Yeah.
And Carl Urban's character is the guy who's like, nope, all soups must die. And then you have the guy who lost his girlfriend. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, not all of them are sexual predators and or killers and or, you know, giant douchebags.
Yeah.
Like, there's good people in and amongst this superhero group of people. You know, like, let's tone down the killing everybody and focus on the bad ones.
Yeah.
So he brings humanity to the group, sort of. The group is cool that they put together. Like, there's the weapons specialist. There's kind of the guy with all of the, like, spy tech. Yeah. The Radio Shack, like, Huey, who's kind of our way into the show. He's good at the, like, why are you guys trying to sneak into her place to set up cameras? Like, everything in her house, if she's got a smart TV, like, that has a camera, this has a camera, that, like, just get me in there and I'll activate it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay. Yes, and then there's smaller subset hero groups that you don't really get to know, but you get to see some of those off-cast heroes. Some of them were used for television shows as kids. Like, so there's the child star that grew up and is now just working at Comic-Con, signing things, shaking people's hands, and saying all this stuff.
Wildcat?
No. His name is Mesmer.
What? I'm thinking Marvel or DC.
Yeah. But yeah, like, they pull off the, like, I'm a B-rate superhero. So, and not even B-rate. Like, I'm now delisted because, like, I have to go to these cons.
Yeah.
And, like, that's what I'm doing is signing my old DVDs and shaking people's hands and taking the pictures instead of living in the penthouses and, you know, getting my movies and this and that. And the guy who plays the Deep, that's their version of Aquaman, he's tired of getting all of the water-related crimes.
Pollution?
Well, so no, his job is legitimately, like, stopping people by a pier because they need him to, like, dive into water to catch it on camera.
Yeah.
And his only power, again, is talking to fish. But then he ends up talking to, like, dolphins from Ocean Land instead of SeaWorld.
Yeah.
And he's like, they don't want to be there, man. Like, can we do something to, like, help set them free? And she's like, you're their main campaign person. Like, you're in the commercials advertising to go see the dolphins. Like, no, we can't set them free.
No, you cannot.
Yeah, like, cool show. Really well put together.
Yeah.
So, and then, again, I watched all the way, like, it got to midnight, and I had one episode left. And it's one of those ones where I'm like, okay, one episode. Like, I gotta know how all of this ends for season 1. And
cliffhanger?
Nothing gets resolved.
Cliffhanger?
Yeah. And it's like...
That's good.
Which is good. It's totally...
Sets up for number 2.
Oh, totally. But that's the piece is, like, now I'm like, I need season 2 now. And this show, I was very surprised. Like, you could tell they cut budget like they'd make a scene darker so they didn't have to add as much stuff to it.
Yeah.
But like when Homelander uses laser eyes, like it's full on laser eyes and people get cut in half. Like they do not mince words about it. Like they don't mince words about it. Like it's not like pew and you see like an explosion.
Yeah.
It's legitimately like you see an arc of red and then people's bodies are flying. And you're like, yeah, okay, they spent money on this. Like there's parts where they're flying and stuff's happening.
Yeah.
Like they did spend money on things, which is good.
Yeah.
Because that's the other piece to
absolutely.
a superhero show is like, you know, you don't want the guy looking like he's flying because he's sitting on a box with a bunch of green screens around him like, I'm flying. Yeah. And Homelander is great because he's legitimately, what if Superman was not raised by, it's kind of that Brightburn effect.
Yeah.
But this is legitimately like, what if he wasn't raised with that loving family of the kids who taught him morals and like good things?
Yeah.
This is just the sociopath. Like, I have superpowers and I'm the strongest of everybody. So if I don't care, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
And seeing that on a show is just like, damn.
Not quite Brightburn, but
Not quite Brightburn, where like that kid goes psychotic. Like I haven't seen the show, but like based on the trailer, that kid goes nuts. Right. Like that kid goes nuts, and it's like, oh snap!
Yeah.
Like that's a horror movie. This is more of the thriller of like, oh damn, this guy's got powers and can do a whole lot of bad.
Yeah.
Or a whole lot of good, depending on how he woke up that day. Like not where Superman is like, I have to always do good and protect as many people as I want. This guy's just like, I'm famous. I've got powers. Like,
who cares?
yeah, and I'm a symbol of America. Like, what?
Yeah, and that's the other thing was it's very anti-American.
He definitely like his character will play up to the
especially the show in general, not just like character. It was the show was anti-American, anti-Christian.
See, and I don't find that as much as they go after those big people within that kind of stuff. Like it's kind of against the NRA and the government spending so much money on weapons. Not against the U.S. itself, but just like, do you know how much money we spend on bombs?
Yeah.
You know, and then the Christian rally thing, it's more of the, look at this guy who's trying to shyster people in instead of this one character who's legitimately trying to live more of a Christian life of like, I accept love and acceptance into my life and all of that jazz, versus the Bible is always right and, you know, gay people are wrong and all of that. Like, they went against that very staunch version of that stuff, which I mean a lot of people have been lately.
Yeah.
Versus more of the like open-mindedness of a lot more people who are now still involved in those religions and that kind of, like they went after those big talking points. I wouldn't say it's un-American. Definitely more anti-Christian, if anything.
It was.
Yep. I'm just trying to think.
And Seth Rogen's comments back to it was cool. Go watch it.
Yeah.
So everybody else, like,
yeah.
Who cares?
He's in it for 2 seconds.
Is he?
Yeah. As a director for a movie based on the Seven.
Has to be in his own show.
Yeah. I just laughed because I'm like, nah, because you made this.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's the other point is like all the branding in the show is based off of these heroes. So like if they're in a sports check, there's A-Train's shoes, like the speedster. Yeah. There's his shoes.
I was fair you say sport, like it's a runner.
Yeah. But then there's also other fast people. So like at one point in the movie, they've talked up this big race. It's A-Train versus Shockwave.
Yeah.
And if A-Train loses, like he's off the team. He's been told. So he's got to stay the fastest guy alive. How does he do that?
Kills the other guy?
No, he's not that brutal.
He cheats?
Yep. How do athletes cheat?
Still okay, steroids and everything.
Yep. So it's cool just how they mix it all in. Cool show. Once you get Prime, check it out. I finished Ultimate Alliance 3.
And how was that? The ending?
Very generic for that kind of. There's no snap.
Because that's what it's all about. Is about the stones. And
it's about the stones. So, sort of spoilers-esque is you get to the end because you've chased down the Black Order.
Yeah.
And instead of taking all of the stones, Thanos has left the stones with some of his Black Order people to try and stop you.
Oh, why would he do that?
Because they needed to make a video game. So you then work your way through the 5 Black Order people.
There's
They
5 now.
Yeah, they threw in one of the ones that wasn't included in the movie, who's in the comics, I guess.
Okay.
And I forgot her name already. But you have to go through all of them, and each one of them drops a stone when you beat them.
Okay.
And then you get to Thanos, who only ends up with 1 stone in the glove.
Yeah.
Story progresses, and he gets all of them, and then something else happens.
Oh, good.
And then you beat that boss, and the game's over. And then it unlocks, like, superior mode! So now the game all over again, but harder. So exactly like the Ultimate Alliance games, where you just, it's like, I need to run through them again.
Do you? Because my whole thing was trophy hunting there.
Well, so now you can unlock, like, I have to unlock Magneto.
And for Civil War, all I did was play this other story.
See, and there's no other story on this one.
But it's just the Civil War, how that game went was just...
Yeah.
I had to play both sides.
This one, like, there's 3 unlockable characters that you have to do through the Infinity challenges.
Okay.
But to get to them, you have to do other Infinity challenges. Like, you have to unlock your way to the unlockable. There's costumes to unlock and all of that kind of stuff. So those are kind of the achievements in the game.
I'm close to you.
I think I'm on her tail. Yeah. Yeah, shut up. You're just fine.
I'll do it too.
No, you do not need to come over here. You're just as loved over there.
Equally as loved.
So yeah, it's and it's been set online. It's a very generic story, but they all were pretty generic story-wise.
I'm trying to think of the first one. No, it wasn't Doom.
Yeah, you started in Latveria.
We started there, but it's not how it ended.
It worked its way through.
Galactus? No.
Yes? No.
Was it
No,
Galactus?
I think it ended on Galactus, and we never got that payoff. One of them ended with Galactus, and we never got the payoff of Galactus.
I'm trying not to confuse it with the Lego.
Mm-hmm.
Because Lego ended with Galactus.
That makes sense.
And the first one. Second one in the trailers, you know it's Kang.
Yeah.
Was it Kang?
I don't remember. But either way, this one, yeah. Generic-y, but still fun. Like, working your way through it is still fun, and...
It's gonna bug me.
They add the voice lines in, so, like, even as you're fighting Thanos, like, Wolverine will talk even if he's not part of your team. Like, he'll comlink his way in to, like, say something. So, like, all the lines make their way in. But I finished off with my team being Spider-Man, Scarlet Witch, the Hulk, and Thor.
Just random? Or is there a process behind your madness?
Well, Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man. He's my man.
Well, yes. I figured.
Scarlet Witch is the only one I've so far encountered that has any form of healing spell. So she stayed on the team the entire time. And then I don't know why I had the Hulk and Thor in my party, but I just did and I ran with it. Because they're pretty powerful. And that's the other part is like the synergy attacks, so the attacks that you can double up on.
Yeah.
Not everybody connects with everybody. So trying to find people that like work with Spider-Man and Scarlet Witch, like you gotta at least be able to team some of your attacks up. So I know that's why I definitely had the Hulk.
Yeah, no, Galactus, because in Ultimate Alliance you go after Galactus, and that's why he's stayed peaked at the second one.
Oof, Echo, thanks for moving.
She's done it a couple times.
I know. Nope, sit.
It was Doctor Doom.
In the second one?
First one.
Oh, yeah.
Second one was Civil War.
Okay. Okay, let's go. You're going outside. Deep outside.
Anywho, for me personally, kind of started on my games, I guess, because Nick could jump in. I've been doing some NHL 19, because you can kind of segue into this too.
Cool.
NHL 19.
Yes, we've started a team.
We've started a club.
Yeah, baby.
The Lumberjacks.
No, the log drivers.
Log drivers, because we were trying to play off names.
Yeah.
And it's the only thing, for some reason, that worked We don't know why.
I'm still confused.
I don't know.
I liked the first name. I thought it was different, and it's funny.
No, it's not different for me. But
Well, no, but
I name this team that team all the time.
Well, see, and it makes me laugh because legitimately every time we start something, it's like, what do we name the team? And we're all too lazy to think of anything else, so we always just revert to barrel roll. It's like, we're the barrel roll, barrel roll this, barrel roll that. So yeah, we're the log drivers, and we are a team.
Yes, we are.
Who needs a lot of practice.
A lot of practice. Apparently one of us has gotten better since you first started. He has yet to prove it.
Yeah. Kyle.
He knows what I'm talking about. Not that he watches ever, but you know.
This is the one he's watching.
Yeah. We dabbled in that.
Yes,
I
we
think
did.
We failed our first season.
Yes, we did.
We haven't gotten a win yet.
We tied a game. We got a point.
That's because I wasn't playing.
That's what it was. No, it's because we lucked.
Clearly.
It's because we lucked out and managed to get a puck into the net, and then stopped all the other ones from getting in.
I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely like. I think what we're trying to do is play hockey.
Are we?
In a sense, like there's a piece of it where, like at least defensively, we're still trying to play hockey. Like we're all kind of.
We just don't have the moves offensively.
Offensive, we're a little short, and then everybody always goes for those one-timers.
We did win a game. It was that team that kept taking penalties. I just didn't care.
Oh, yeah.
So the team doesn't care. We win.
Yep. So, yeah, that's the piece. Is offensively, like, everybody goes for that one-time shot.
Yeah.
And that's just, we're not playing that way. We're playing like, okay, set it up to the, set it up to
well,
the
we try the one time.
We try the one-times every once in a while, but,
It doesn't work.
No. So, either way, we're getting better. Like, we're not losing by a bajillion points anymore.
Some games.
Most games, especially the actual club games, those seem to match us up more equally.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I find it tougher when there's more computers.
And for sure, there's more computers, because the computers stick to their assigned roles all the time. Whereas, even half the time, I forgot what game we were playing. I was watching you guys offensively. I think I was on defense, and I'm watching you guys offensively, and I'm like, uh-oh. Like, all of a sudden, the puck's moving the other way, and I'm, all the way in a corner.
So many
just skating.
2-on-0s.
Right. So, it's just like, oh no.
Yeah.
And it's one of those human errors that adds to that piece of the game. So, yeah, when you're, 3 or 4 people versus 2 guys and a bunch of computers, it turns out, why is this computer always in my way?
Yeah.
Because the computer's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Meanwhile, we're doing what we think we're supposed to be doing, which isn't always the right thing.
I found 3-on-3 better.
Yes.
Than 6-on-6. I found 6-on-6 was tougher for me personally.
There's not as much ice to move around in, and
you can't do as much.
You can't do as much. Passing's harder, just trying to get the puck up.
Yeah. It was a pain.
Yeah.
I found.
But otherwise, one of us has to be goalie, and that's even worse. So.
Is it though?
Yes.
Could you get matched up against teams that have even goalies?
Usually you do, yes. And I think that's more of the we just have to watch some YouTube videos about how to actually
stop the puck,
goalie properly.
I don't know. Brian has apparently got it.
Well, and I can do so.
He has a trophy for getting a shutout somewhere. I want to know how he did that.
So that's my thing. In the shootout practice, against computers, I was good.
Yeah.
And as soon as that human element's in, I'm.
Well, because they move side to side, and
it's not
don't move that much.
Right. It's not the side to side. Even the computer will do the side to side thing. The computers will do the one-timers and all of that jazz.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. Once I get into the game, there's pressure or something. I fold completely.
I'll practice.
And then there's one guy that we played who was a human, and he wasn't playing when I played net.
He was standing there.
He was pretty much standing there, but he'd back up into the net, which is the thing that they pretty much tell you not to do.
Well, you take up more room if you move out.
Right, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Except this guy just backed himself right into the net and stayed there, and we couldn't score on him. And I'm like, is that how this works? You just become a wall? In the game, not obviously in real hockey.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
In the game, is this how it's supposed to go down, or?
You got a couple past him.
We did, but
that was the highlight of my game on that one. Is because I single-handedly stole the puck, walked out, and scored.
But that's the piece. Is that how you goalie better? I don't know. So, if one of us wants to play goalie, I'm totally I don't care.
I should practice.
So, I personally don't care if we win or lose those games.
Yeah.
So, especially if someone's trying to practice something new, it's like, oh yeah, cool. Practice.
Not really. We need to practice our D keying, which I can't do.
I told you, man.
Maybe I should just play on D.
Just roll that stick around.
I try, but I accidentally always go up.
Oh yeah, never. That's the trick, is like not going.
That's hard because I'm watching the screen. I can't watch that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. I've got that part down.
It's hard.
But that's all I've ever done in the NHL games is like half circle or quarter circle to like.
Yeah.
And it looks fancy, but it does mostly all the time dick. But you know. But we got a logo. We can't put it on our jerseys yet, but we got a logo.
Yay!
Woo!
That's the stupid thing about it.
Yeah, that was the. You make a jersey and you can't put a logo on the front until you unlock the ability to, but that ability is completely random.
Yeah. I don't know.
Which.
I thought it was that we need to progress more.
And that's like that's exactly what someone asked online, was like, what level do I have to get my club to put it like, you know, emblem on my jersey? And one guy's like, I'm level 20 and still don't have it. And one guy's, my team's level 3 and we've got it. And it's like, oh no. It comes out of one of those loot bags.
Well, I've been collecting just personal bags.
Yeah, me too, because the ones stuff's easy enough to...
Well, you just play one game and
you get at least a daily bag.
Yeah.
So...
I've been dabbling in that too.
Yeah, the ones is fun.
It's frustrating. Can be frustrating.
It can, but again, that's that human element.
Well, and the goal, it's not even a human still. It's the goalie. The goalie plays...
The goalie plays dumb because they want you to get goals.
I guess I got 4 in one game, but still.
Yeah. They want you to score.
But I don't know. I don't think it matters, but I think as they go up in tiers...
The goalie gets a little tougher?
Should.
Oh, it doesn't?
It doesn't. It's still the same.
Yeah. I think they more want you playing against the people, not the... The goalie's pretty much like...
Which I do. Now I play defensive. I sit in front of them. Not in front of the net, but I sit in front of them just holding R1. Just...
Yeah.
My stick's there.
Dangle that stick out a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like there's a tripping penalty.
There are no penalties, so you go...
Or hitting too hard.
Yeah.
You have to be careful that I find when people go in corners,
no
one wants to go get the puck.
Oh, yeah.
No one ever wants to.
Yeah.
Because you know you go in there and get that puck, the second person in there.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha. And then you're down for a bit.
Yeah.
Which is also still the annoying part.
Yep.
Because you get hit too hard, you're slow to get up.
Yeah.
And you know that other person that's also defending is not competent, so you're trying to...
Yeah.
Let's get going.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, it's definitely... The ones is a very... You have to... There's some weird strategy that has to happen because you have to watch how the other two people play when they don't have the puck. Because you have to then really fill in for whatever they're not doing.
Well, but I'm finding more as I play like that. There's that cut across the net move, and you wait for the goalie to flinch, and then you finish it off. People block that off on you.
Yeah,
they've obviously this game's been around for a while.
Yeah,
but they clue in and know that you're going to do that. So I find going up higher.
Yep.
I wait till I'm on my forehand because I'm going across up high. I'm not going to do it.
Yep.
But I'll wait till I come across because I know the goalie's cheating, and then I'll backwards.
Yeah.
And try and get it in that way from a distance, which it's actually more I practice that. Not that bad.
Good.
You just need the guys to get out of your...
It's
the timing of the defenders to get out of your way.
And that's the thing. Like, you really have to watch how they're defending and what they're doing, because when it's time for you to defend, maybe you can go check the other people because that guy's at least going to stay back.
Yeah.
And cause some mischief, so maybe you can get back into the play if you do end up missing the check or falling down or whatever it happens to be.
Yeah, and I know I've had one issue on the ones.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same lines as Apex, I've heard, with their new solo mode.
Oh, yeah.
Because in Apex, even though it's solo, someone tested it out of 5 times.
Yep.
If you're with a buddy,
yep,
you time it, 4 times you're with them. So it's not solo still, you're still teaming up, but it's just not...
Teams.
They can't see your pings.
Yeah.
But you're working as a team.
Yeah, you're still...
I had that in one of these ones games where the guys were had matching jerseys and everything. And
we're working together.
So I'm like, it's a 1-on-2.
Yep.
They're not... You could tell they weren't really trying against each other. Every once in a while they take a shot at a person, but it wasn't competitive. I'm like, no, this is cool.
Great.
Take
Losing this one, yeah.
And then the people that just don't show up.
Yeah, that one sucks because 1-on-1 sucks
Yeah.
hard.
Well, and then trying your strategy where you're going around, just going back and forth around the guy who's stationary. But as I was hoping, as you go up higher, it doesn't become an issue because
people want to play. Yeah.
You're trying to get to that Diamond League.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's prizes in Diamond League, isn't there?
If you win, the more you win in, I assume the more you win in that, in the ones, the better your stuff is.
Cool.
I'm confused to who the Brian. Do you get Brian stuff?
No.
Pieces of equipment that say Brian H's pads
glove. I think it's like a CCM branding thing or something. I think so. It's just an unknown one because everybody uses either a CCM or I can't think of the other company. Reebok? Is it Reebok that people use? Adidas.
Adidas is the main.
Yeah, like for the other stuff. Yeah.
I just wear the jerseys.
Yeah.
Give me a damn Oilers jersey.
I know. I wear the jerseys.
Although the red Washington Capitals goes well with my Canadian.
With your toque?
Toque. I have Canadian stick now. Or stick
tape. I have the Canadian stick tape style,
yeah. The Canadian boy, I think it's what it's called.
What was it? And then, like when we play the league stuff, because we actually have jerseys. Most of my gear is CCM just because it's always like,
I don't
for
care.
the little things that I've always dabbled in when it comes to skating, all of my stuff's always just been CCM. So I'm like, I'll just stick to like CCM stuff because it's not like the gear changes your stats.
Yeah.
Which is nice. It's just cosmetic-y type stuff. So that's
some
good.
look a little brighter than others.
Yeah.
Bright blue. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried like.
Because the names.
And then some of the names I don't know how people are getting away with names. We can't get away with like dingers.
Yeah.
Can't get away with dingers, but we can.
There was a guy.
People are getting away with some other language that I'm like, excuse me.
There was a guy in ones yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. His player's name was Send Nudes.
Sweet. And we can't name our team dingers.
Maybe you can get away with it in team name or player name.
Maybe. I don't know. Either way, even when I was putting together, like we had talked about, okay, we're like log drivers, so let's go lumberjack themed. So then, like, you're like plaid, and I'm like, I wish we could do plaid. Like, I'm still hoping there's a plaid jersey somewhere hiding somewhere. But either way, like the red and black kind of themed colors.
Yeah.
And then even when you're picking when I'm picking red, I'm like, let's go for a more, like a darker red, I guess, in terms of stuff. Because you play some teams and you're like, what is your screen saturation set to? Because, like, you're piss yellow, and then the next team that comes up is, like, ocean bright blue. And it's just like, are you trying to make it so I can't watch the screen while we play?
Probably blending in with the ice.
Yeah.
Because ice is white.
I'm sneaky.
Totally.
So, yeah, the club stuff's kind of cool. It's just the random unlock thing that I'm not overly...
frustrating.
Yeah, like it'd be nice to have like, our goal is if we can get to team ranking of 10, we get a new stadium. If we get to here, we get this. If we get to here, we get that. Like, though that would be nice.
Yeah.
As opposed to the random loot box, because they're loot boxes. They're disguised as hockey bags, but they're loot boxes with random rewards in them.
They don't cost anything.
They don't cost anything. You just have to play.
And with the ones that literally play a game a day.
And you get a bag.
You get a one.
And for the rest of the stuff, like I know I want an Edmonton jersey. Whatever, eventually one of those bags will open up.
I have a feeling because it's my favorite team.
They're not giving it to you.
That's why they're not giving it to me?
Maybe.
Well, but I think they gave the Washington one because in this game, Washington and Vegas made it to the finals last year.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's why.
Yeah. But yeah, so like, I'm cool with getting random stuff out of those bags. I really wish that the season league stuff had like at least a certain thing that unlocked at certain levels.
Yeah.
Like at this level, you get X.
You would never get to that level, though.
Not necessarily, because
you haven't won a game.
It doesn't matter. You still get points for playing. It's not that you have to like win so many games and win a playoff. It's just play enough, and eventually you'll unlock everything. Which I guess we will. It's just a matter of I'd really like to have our
Prestige 3 before
I know. I still like because we lucked out with our logo.
Yeah.
You were opening bags and you're like, I got one.
So they got kicked out, and I'm the only one that has this issue.
I know.
Is there's a dressing room issue.
I know you get.
And I have booted out. My character's still there.
Yes, Chris's character is still in the game. He even almost scored that one game as a computer. But yeah, overall it's not bad. It's just the little tweaks of things that it's like, you know.
We're going to run into low populations and everything, especially when 20 comes out.
Yeah. No one's buying 20. It's got a maple leaf on the front. It'll just be that one province.
All of Toronto.
It'll just be that one province playing it.
Probably.
Everybody else will stick to 19.
Yeah.
So yeah, NHL 19. Ultimate Alliance I've done. Kingdom Hearts I've kept playing. I'm at the last boss.
Do you have media?
No, because the last boss has 8 phases, and I don't want to. I just.
Do you want to spend hours?
No, on a boss fight. No, like I'm just like that seems so tedious, and that's a very JRPG thing. Is like the end boss is 12 bosses, but it's one boss. So if you lose, welcome back to stage 1.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't have it in me anymore to like get all the way to the end and then lose. Like something would break.
You can probably control it.
Yeah. So yeah, Kingdom Hearts. I've been playing more Hollow Knight. I jumped back into Hollow Knight on my Switch. You play a tiny little bug with a nail. And
aren't you a knight with a shovel?
It's Shovel Knight.
Okay.
This is Hollow Knight.
Yeah, I'm getting my knights.
Yeah,
confused.
it's all good. Yeah, you're a tiny little bug and you're in the underground and you're working your way through. It's kind of a Metroid-esque type game minus the like pew pew pew. Instead you.
Okay.
But when you jump, like you can swing down, and if you hit stuff, like you can bounce off bad guys and that kind of stuff. So there's a thought process to like even the boss fights, where it's like, oh no, he's got me cornered, and then he'll do a move, and you have to jump and smack him heading downwards so that you catapult back to the other side of the arena to give yourself some room.
Yeah.
You get some magic spells, so you can launch souls at them and all of that kind of stuff. And you gain souls by smacking them. You can regenerate health with using your soul power.
Okay.
But it takes time. Like you gotta like Super Saiyan charge up your like.
And they don't give you like 3 hours to.
No, they don't. They're like the bad. There's one boss that's 3 mantises. Like mantis ladies, and they move really quick. Like that's the whole shtick.
Yeah.
So you fight one of them first. So she gives you all of their moves. One of them, like she disappears all ninja-like, appears on top of you and cracks down.
Okay.
Once she lands, you can whack at her.
Yeah.
Like once or twice. Then she'll disappear, and she might appear at the edge of the screen and like come in horizontally. So you have to jump and smack her on the top of the head as she goes by.
Yeah.
One of them, she'll attach herself to the wall and like wing a spinning energy thingy at you. And I think that was like those are the 3 moves.
Yeah.
But then there's spikes on the side of the screen, so like you can't just dash randomly or you land in spikes. Once you kill her, the 2 other people stand up and they both attack you with the exact same attacks. But now there's 2 of them, so now you have to be like dodgy, 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 dodgy.
Quick.
And if you lose your health, you have to hope to God that they're going to start launching those things because it gives you just enough time to like gain 1 health back, like 1 tick. And it's like okay, they're doing it. And hope that you can pull it off and get that 1 health back in time and then not lose it so you can get another health back the next time they do it. So, and they'll mix up their attacks, so one of them will come straight down and the other one will come horizontally.
Yeah.
So then you have to choose. It's like, okay, I'm going to attack you and hope that you get a hit in. So,
challenging.
It's challenging, and if you die, a ghost form of you kind of appears, like a black floating mist version of you that you have to kill to get like all of your money back and your soul meter to like refill. And if you die before you get back to that, you lose all the money you had previously. So yeah, like, and it's definitely like a Metroidvania type game where like you have to backtrack once you get certain like wall jumping abilities, and that unlocks a new part of the level.
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff. Cool game. I didn't like it at first when I first played it because it was hard. And like I found it too hard. I don't know what was up with me that day, but like you're playing it going like, oh my god, I can't beat anything.
Yeah.
And then once you get into the rhythm of like, oh, okay, jump and like hit down and do this and that. Like once you get into the rhythm of it, you're like, okay. And same with the bosses. You're like, okay, this is the rhythm of it. Once you're into the rhythm, you're cool. Like those mantises, I think I had to fight 10 times before I finally...
Oh, so it's Cuphead.
It is a Cuphead that is more easily attainable.
More forgiving?
Much more forgiving. Especially because you can heal yourself. Like, there's that healing factor of it where it's like, oh no, I'm totally screwed. If I go and beat up some easy-to-kill bad guys, I can gain some souls, gain some health, and get back to it. And then I dabbled in, and this was the weird one. On the Switch, DCU Online came out, so I downloaded it. Because I'm like, I remember liking that game.
I don't.
And so I downloaded it, and I opened it up, and I'm like, oh, that's right. Like, if you want light power from the Ring, like if you want Green Lantern powers, you have to pay for it.
Of course you do.
So that's the whole game is you pay for every little piece of it. So it's free to play. You unlock basic powers right off the bat.
Yeah.
But if you want specific powers that came with different chapters, you have to spend money. So originally how it went was you bought the chapter that was the Green Lantern chapter. So you got extra story stuff.
Yeah.
And you got the power of light, and you got 3 or 4 things for spending $10. Same with like there's actually a lot more power sets now, but I did it for a few of them on the PlayStation ages ago.
Yeah.
None of that stuff carries over with your account to the Switch. Which I'm like, oh, okay, so I don't have light powers. That's cool. I'll do this. And they've changed the game since the last time. Like, last time I played was on my PlayStation 3.
Yes, I think you were saying that.
So then on the Switch, I'm like, I don't remember how to play, and they've changed things, and stuff is different, and I don't know what I'm doing. But I still like the graphics in it are fun, because you get to, like, design your superhero, and... like, as an MMO, if you get new gear, you put it on, but you can still keep the style of your old gear. Yeah. So you can legitimately make your costume. Okay. For your superhero. And then,
are you having fun with that part?
Oh, yeah. Like, that's the best part of the game. I used to just create characters and delete them, and, like, make characters and delete them, and make characters and delete them until I was like, this is the one. So my main guy from ages ago was essentially Robin. So I made, like, there's a sprite character. Yeah. So you can be big hulking. You can be medium sized, which is like their regular human. Batman or Superman. Like hulking is like almost Bane-like, like you're big. Yeah. Batman and Superman is the medium, and then Sprite is like the Robin. So you're shorter, you're skinnier, like your head doesn't almost fit your body. You could be Beast Boy, you could be Robin, like that would be those guys. Yeah. I had that kind of character that I had leveled up on PlayStation 3, so I'm like, I'll just make one of those again. So I made my character on the Switch, and I'm like, nope, I don't know what I'm doing. So I deleted it. But it had given me enough of, like, it had bitten me enough where it's like, you should try that game again. So I downloaded it on my PS4. Because I wanted to see what would happen, because it's still my PlayStation account. Yeah. So it transferred my old character up, and it gave me a name change, because I'm now, like, Night Comet _ play, like, PS _ and then a 1. Yeah. Because it's like, clearly this character was made 800 years ago and is now moved up to, here. Yeah. So I'm level 27, and I think the level cap's 30.
Really?
Yeah. But what they do is... low. So now, once you hit level 30, you have your powers. Yeah. Then it becomes what equipment do you have? That's how they leveled you up, was... Through the equipment. And then the equipment you get, 1 by doing quests, and 2 by then running, I forgot what they're called, but they're dungeons. Okay. And at the end of a dungeon is like Scarecrow or Joker or whatever the theme is right now. Yeah. But they also stopped selling the chapters, because that was how they were going to do things, was like every 3 months, you'd spend $10 and get a new chapter. Well, they ditched that model. So now if you pay the monthly fee of like $18 a month Canadian, you unlock all 46 chapters that are now available, because they just went nuts with them. I guess. And stopped charging for them individually. Powers you now pay for either individually or in bundles. Like everything's in bundles. Yeah. Like weird bundles. Like even I started a new character yesterday because I opened up my guy.
And you're paying $18 a month?
No. The free. Okay. There's a free version, which still has lots of stuff in it. Like, to be said. Yeah. It's just the tantalizingness of like, I want light powers, which I can get because I paid for them ages ago and it's still unlocked on my PlayStation account. But yeah, if you want specific powers, you're like, oh. But again, some of the power, like I think it's $6 to unlock a power for a free game. If you play it and you like it, you're like, okay, I like this one. I want to unlock this power.
Yeah.
You throw them $6, and you unlock it. There's still story stuff that unlocks. So right now they're on like the more mystical jazz. Like Constantine's one of the quest givers.
Yeah.
You can still play that stuff, just not all of it.
Yeah.
If you pay, you also get points to unlock more armor faster and all of that jazz. Like, essentially, by paying, you make things easier on yourself.
Oh, good, because that's what we want.
But not... Everything else balances out in some weird way, shape, or form. And that's where I was just confused, because it took me to Chaos Gotham, which is where all of this weird stuff's taking place. Like, it's an alternate Gotham.
Okay.
And all of a sudden I was like
normal Gotham.
No, this one is like nightmares appearing, not just like bad guys and gangsters. So, this one was like, I got there and all of a sudden it's like, you're level 253. And I'm like, what? And then I tried fighting something that was level 270 something and like almost got my butt kicked.
Yeah.
And then I forgot half the buttons because the cool part of creating a character is you pick what weapon they use.
Okay.
So you can just go like energy beams or martial arts or you can go rifles, like if you just want to be a guy with a gun.
Red Hood.
Sure. You can go dual pistols. Like you can all of this stuff. Like there's lots of stuff available. Two-handed weapons. Like you can just have a big ass hammer.
I'm thinking Nightwing.
And that's the piece.
Electric batons.
And the coolest part is you can actually just like when creating a character, if you don't want to spend 8 hours doing it, you can pick a mentor. And they'll just be like, okay, you kind of now look like Green Arrow. And you're like, thanks. Would you like to change any of your colors? Nope. You're using a bow. Awesome. And you get around using tech. Done. Because that's the other piece is you get to choose how you move around.
Yeah.
So you can be a speedster. You can use tech, like Batman, which essentially just gives you Spider-Man powers mixed with Batman, like, glidey powers.
Okay.
Like you get to the top of a roof, you jump, you hit the jump button again, and you go like "Whatcha!" and you glide slowly downwards.
See if I'm near an arrow.
Yep.
That makes no sense.
Doesn't matter. It's the way you get around. Like you can still float. And of course, flight is the other option.
Yeah.
When you get to level 9, you can like upgrade the way you get around. So speedsters, like you hit the button to go, and you'll run fast. You click and hold the button down, and you don't even have to, like, you just steer now, because you're now going really fast. You can run up buildings, down buildings. When you jump, obviously, you, like, launch yourself forward at a faster rate. So my little Robin guy gets around tech-wise.
Oh, yeah.
But he has the power of a ring. Because that's just what I unlocked at the time. So I'm like, So he's got like a little glowy thing. So his power is like he makes a giant chainsaw appear and then whacks people with a stick.
Yeah.
You can get quests from Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, all of that jazz. They've changed the intro because I did make a new character last night. I clicked a button that was like restore your characters.
Yeah.
And because I gave them money ages ago, this was one of the things was you unlock extra character slots. So I have 6 character slots.
Okay.
And I used them at one point, but apparently they're like, we'll let you transition your one guy over, who was level 27. But all your little level 3s and stuff we've ditched. If you'd like to get them back, we can refresh them. Like, we'll bring them back. Like, they were willing to actually, it was like, apparently if you delete a character within 90 days, you can suck them back. Okay. All of these characters that I made years ago, they were letting me, like, bring back. So I just stole one of their names and made a new character because, again, I didn't know how to play. Like, I forgot all controls.
Yeah.
So I made a speedster villain.
Okay.
Whose mentor is Lex Luthor and ran through, but they changed the intro a bit.
Yeah.
So it makes a little bit more sense with where all the story stuff kind of is. Okay. So. And you beat up Brainiac. Like, you have to get the help of Lex Luthor and beat up Brainiac and all that stuff. All right.
Sweet.
So yeah, like that's the that's the piece to that game.
How's the user population on that?
Good, still high.
Yeah?
Yeah. It still plays like a PlayStation 3 game.
That bad, eh?
Parts of it still look like a PlayStation 3 game. Like, targeting's not 100%. The characters move very stiffly, like...
Yeah. Well, because I think you're trying to integrate, like, what, 3 different systems in there now?
There's PC, there's Xbox, there's PlayStation, and Switch. And I'm not sure if all of them actually play together, but obviously the game engine has to work for
exactly right.
everything.
So
and I think you can still play on your PlayStation 3.
That'd be another one. That's 5.
Yeah.
Probably, I would assume, older Xboxes as well.
Probably. Xbox 360s.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
It would make sense for it to run.
Yeah. So it looks prettier on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Like they've upgraded some of the stuff, but like you pick a hairstyle. So like the speedster I created, I made a chick, like a villain chick, because it's like okay, like a villain chick, because it's like bring it. But I gave her like this long hair. And I also gave her like a backpack because whatever you pick off the beginning, you get those styles later on if you want them. Yeah. So I'm just like, it's pretty much a free style that I can get rid of as soon as I get into the game. But the backpack clips through the hair because they're not spending the time to make sure because the hair is just a static like thunk on your head. So you're not going to get like sweeping, gorgeous, movie style fight scenes. You're going to get very basic RPG, MMORPG stuff from a long time ago kind of combat, but it's fun and it's dumb because it's DC.
Yeah, that's what's would hold me back on that.
But at the same time, like, you can pick a villain and you can pick Joker, and Joker will be your mentor. And
but see, comics, Joker wouldn't be a mentor; he'd kill you.
They make the joke about that actually. When you go to pick Joker, it goes, Joker will be your mentor. You can you can maybe hope, sort of thing, because he's not going to be the best mentor. The biggest piece to this game, and the reason like you can have light powers and Superman's powers and all of that jazz, is in the far-flung future, Lex Luthor did something to suck the powers out of everybody, and then something happens, and Lex Luthor essentially goes back in time, or it sends these nanobots back in time to give regular humans powers. But that's why you end up with powers that are like everybody else's superheroes, is they were sucked from the greatest of heroes and given to you.
So for you, you're a speedster.
Yes.
Could your evil supervillain be like Reverse Flash then?
You can't pick him as a mentor.
Because I'm just thinking, because mentor-wise, on the good side, you'd go, obviously Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. That's it. Yeah. So I think try to think of the big 3 on the other side: Lex Luthor,
Joker, and Wonder Woman's someone.
The Cheetah?
Nope. It's some magic user lady. I didn't pick her because I had no idea who she was.
Yeah.
And then PvP obviously matters on if you picked villain or superhero.
Yeah.
And I am far too underpowered to do any kind of PvP.
Makes sense.
At this point. But it turns off. Like, unless I punch a superhero, I can just, like, run by them like, good job. Hey, you're doing superhero things. My only thing is I don't think we can start, like, a league or anything unless we pay them money.
I think this is one I'm not...
And that's the piece, is, like, that's my only thing that always kind of... I play it. This is the nice one. I can play it for a month and then leave it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like WoW where it's like, oh, yeah, I'll pay for this much money and I'll put this much time and effort into it, and then, okay, this sucks and I'm out. This one's like, I can install it, I can play it, and it kind of goes to and I'm done because I haven't put money into it. Yeah. Or if I have, I've put $6 into it, and that's why I didn't want to do the Switch version, because everything seems to be like everything. Even with this new hero that I created, I kind of got to level 10, I think, yesterday. And it's like, would you like to buy the Gotham starter pack? It's only 1,000 points. And I don't know how 1,000 points translates into, but...
No, probably
it's like,
not much.
And it's like, would you like to buy the Gotham starter pack? Like, you get a Batman emblem, and you get this and that, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm going, no, I'm good. Like, I don't need the bat symbol. I'm not Batman.
No, try not to be Batman.
And that's the piece, is like, you're trying not to be any of these heroes, but at the same time... you can build bases, You get a villain base or a hero base.
Why is it only...
What?
Stupid. I'm trying to figure out who that third evil person is, but it's only giving me the 3 good people mentors.
No one wants to be a bad guy. So yeah, it's fun for what it is. You just have to know what you're getting into.
Circe?
Maybe.
CIRCE?
Maybe. I didn't actually pay that much attention.
That's what it is.
I just picked Lex Luthor because I want to kill Superman.
This Olympian goddess is a creature of manipulation. She believes that magic will rule over reality.
Sounds about right.
She is the mentor of new magic villains.
So, and then yeah, like the quest lines drive you into like I fought Power Girl yesterday with the help of another villain.
AKA Supergirl.
Yes, but still the one with the open chest as her emblem. It's what they've tried to bill it as. It's her female empowerment emblem. Boobs. But yeah, you fight her with the help of like another villain, like from the comics.
Yeah.
So.
You should get to know these character villains.
This guy was Purple.
Purple Man.
Wrong comic. And he like fed off of superheroes sort of thing.
Purple Man.
Yeah, so he definitely was not Purple Man. He looked weird. But I know more of the heroes. It's the villains of DC that I don't really know because
you only know Batman.
Other than Batman's rogue villains,
Superman's.
I really don't. Yeah, ugh. I know Brainiac and Doomsday.
Lex Luthor.
Yeah, but
Zod.
Oh, Zod. See, and I can't think of them off the top of my head. Like Batman's, I can go through his rogue gallery.
Because he's the Spider-Man.
I know.
Universe, but he's
got all the good guys. He's got all the good bad guys. Yeah, this one is.
Trying to go through Superman villains.
But yeah, this one, like, that's the cool part is you do get thrown into those situations.
What's his name? You can keep going. I'm just.
And the lair part yesterday, like they've added a new part to the lair. You can make loadouts essentially for your heroes.
Okay.
But they put them into like Batman's costume tanks.
Yeah.
You can pretty much put those into your base.
Yeah.
And once you've picked your loadout and junk,
Yeah.
load it into one of those, and it comes up as that costume. So your base can actually look like the Batcave, essentially, like with your costumes all lined up.
No thank you.
And it's like, cool.
Bizarro.
Yep.
That's the evil Superman, or the opposite Superman. I think it's Bizarro.
So, jeepers creepers. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. But yeah, DCU Online, it's one of those ones where I'm not a fan of it on the Switch.
Yeah. Takes the bigger controller, I guess.
I think the bigger controller, the screen, like all of that stuff was nicer. And even though it's still an older game, like the graphical upgrades they've made to it look better on the PlayStation than they do on the
Makes sense.
Switch. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. So I went from The Boys to I played so The Boys and Endgame and Ultimate Alliance and DCU Online. I had a very superhero-esque week.
There's the theme.
There was almost a theme.
Right. My turn.
Go nuts.
Don't know if it's nutty. I finished Sparrow 2.
Yeah, you did.
I beat up Ripto.
Is that the bad guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the game's Ripto's Rage.
Ah.
The sentence seemed shorter. I believe in the first one, there was 5 different worlds.
Yep.
With mini worlds in them. This was only 3.
Oh.
With mini worlds, there wasn't a difference between, I think, the mini worlds, like quantity.
Yep.
In the worlds. It was 3 different worlds. They did solve my annoyance though at the end.
Oh, good.
Well, kind of, because it was the guy you had to pay for everything. Yeah, one of the people that you help and or ask for your assistance at the start of the game. Like, oh, by the way, because it's after you beat the final boss, he'll give you all your money back. He's a rich, snobby character. No, I won't.
Yeah.
Yes, you will. And then they
unload.
They give you your Jen's like, good, cool. Makes up for it, I guess.
Weird.
You give me all my gems back, because you bastard.
Taking all my money to teach me how to climb ladders.
Pretty much. Although in the third one, which I've also played, they don't make you pay for that.
To climb a ladder?
No.
Well, it's good that you've learned and retained what you've learned into one game to the next.
guess. But yeah, it was a good game. Like, I think it was my first time through it, so I mean, it was.
I think I've Spyro'd once.
It's a good game. Like, it's a nostalgia thing. Like, I loved playing through the first one.
Yeah. See, and I didn't play it till the PlayStation 3, and then I got like one, I think the collector's boxes or whatever, and it's like, I don't know what Spyro is. He's a dragon. I don't know. I'm like, yeah.
Then so I jumped into 3 too as well, because I figured
get her done.
Why not?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be going for those platinums probably at the same time, so why not?
Yep.
There's no. There's trying to take elements from both 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And put it into 3. Like, it's not going so much as I feared with the Skylander-ish.
Not yet.
Stuff. Yeah. Well, you can play as different characters.
Okay. But obviously it's not a.
Like, in the first world, there's a kangaroo.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know Skylanders enough to tell you if it's a character from there or not. But there's a kangaroo named something.
Kangaroo.
But that's where that's where the money guy comes in again. Is I'm working with the evil person, but I'm willing to turn my back and let things happen if you pay me. So you pay him and unlocks
the next
world, and then there are certain parts in the mini worlds where those characters you freed, you play as them. Yeah. So it's a bit different. Like I said, I don't know if it's from Skylanders.
I don't know.
But it takes from one where the first one you had to unlock the dragons. This one you're finding dragon eggs, and you hatch the eggs, and a little dragon pops out. Because you're trying to save the dragons.
Yeah.
So that it takes elements from that, which wasn't in the second one.
Okay.
Because in the second one there was nobody to rescue.
Yeah.
It was just you're trying to
fly through levels, beat levels,
get levels, and do levels. So I took that element from that one, but the characters from 2 were still kind of there.
Okay.
Not making me pay for skills. I can climb a ladder, even though they tell me later on, "Oh, this is how you do it." It's like I've been doing this for like 2 levels already. I know how to.
I love that one.
I'm good.
I have figured this skill out already, games.
So doing that, but they only make you pay for freeing characters or that type of thing. Yep. Or there's and to unlock certain levels, kind of how they roadblocked it now was you had to collect a certain amount of eggs to unlock certain levels.
They went with the Mario, like collect so many stars to move on sort of thing. Yeah.
So that I'm better with that than having to
fork over cash.
Give gems for it. I don't know why I'm happier with that.
I think because it seems more natural. I think having to pay for it gives you that sense of like, why am I paying for something that should just be like I've beaten parts of the level I should. Yeah. And the ladder thing I think bugged, like even when you talked about it, I'm like, why can't your character, like a ladder is a basic thing.
Well, I mean, there's even in some levels not so much that the rich guy makes a couple points anytime you see him. I'm still working with this person.
Yeah.
But I'll get this lever and get this mechanism going.
Sure, and that makes
give me some money.
That makes sense. Because if he's kind of like playing both sides, it's like, yeah, I can get inside, move a lever, or I can do this or that. Telling you how to climb a ladder, again, if you can walk.
And even the swimming. Because in 2, they introduced swimming.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a bit of a pain to navigate. But
you have to pay to learn to swim.
Yeah. How do you do it? Because you can see that when you first find out, oh, there's gems at the bottom, and that you won't die.
So you jump in and
you won't. Because in the first one, you hit the water. It's like Assassin's Creed.
Yes.
You die as soon as you hit the water. This one, you can jump in the water, and you're floating around.
Yep.
Like you're just doo-doo. You can see gems, and you're like, how do I get them?
Oh, so you learn to dive.
And then you learn how to dive, and go. This is going super fast, charging underwater, or you can coast along underwater. You have unlimited
air,
so there's no worry about that.
He's a fish.
Pretty much. But I don't know. So far, I'm finding 3 better. would be the.
But usually that's how those games should go. It's like, okay, this element from 1 was good, this element from 2 was good. Let's,
take them. And like, I don't mind the characters. Like I'm liking the money guy better.
As the double agent sort of thing.
Where he's okay. You want this help with this character? Give me some money and I'll help you.
Yeah.
Or I'll let him go and type thing.
Probably because
but there's a reason behind it. In this second one, he wasn't.
He was just there to block your progress.
He was there to just get money.
Yeah, he was trying to impede you to slow down the game progress.
Yeah, where this is not so.
And see,
it does because if you want to get everything, you do have to get those characters in it.
Yeah.
But the way I go through the levels, I'm collecting 400 gems at a time. I really don't care.
And the level progression going by achieving, like, finding the eggs, and because that's the purpose of the levels, is to obviously get the eggs.
Yeah.
So to progress by getting eggs is like, oh, I'm doing the actual objectives. So to go to the next level, you're like, yeah, I can go to the next level because I've gotten enough eggs. Versus paying a guy even after you might have beaten everything on a level, and now you just have to go around collecting gems. So I think that's probably the better part of that one.
So, I mean, so far, I'm liking 3 better than...
Well, that's good.
2.
Yep.
It is also, since I haven't played 2, this is the first time I'm going through 3 as well, so doing all that. That's all I've played. Other than that, I've been watching some movies.
Excellent.
So I'm trying to get through my pile.
Just a little bit, eh?
Just trying to put a dent in it, because I'm running out of space again. I don't want to buy a 4th shelf.
Just start stacking them.
Well, no, the process behind this is now, do I really need the cases anymore? Could I just have a disc sleeve, and would that be just so much easier? That's the thought process going through my head right now. Because if I move...
Oh, God.
It's
whatever.
Cases.
Just pick them up and carry them out with full.
Put a cover over them so none of the movies escape, and we
just duct tape the front of them.
Pick them up.
No, we got to get you shelving so you can set it up like a Blockbuster. Like the wire shelves.
If I get my own place?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, baby.
But until then, I can't do that to my current living space.
You'd have no living space left.
Well, no, I think I'd have the space because I have one long wall,
That's
so
true.
I could. But it's not my.
I know it's not your place to start putting wall shelving up.
No, that'd be gonna be a project and a half to try and do.
What's that sound downstairs? Nothing. Nothing.
Don't worry about it.
Don't come down here.
I'm sure my landlords would be okay with it.
Probably.
But it'd be a pain.
That would be a pain.
Yeah. I'll go with the oldest one, Stand By Me.
Good flick.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. It's watching all these young
They're
actors.
young.
Watching all these young actors. You got Will Wheaton and John Cusack, which I didn't even know he was in that.
Oh man, who else is in there?
Keith Sutherland.
Yep.
Corey Feldman. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his face that married Mystique?
Okay.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Conley.
Yes.
Something Conley.
Yes.
I can't remember the first name. Kevin.
Good flick.
Yeah, just watching all these young guys and the iconic train running from the train scene.
I know.
Oh, and that I remember parts of this movie.
Yep.
I don't remember that leech part.
Oh yeah.
With the underwear.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Baby.
Ow.
Oh yeah. Ow. Yeah.
First of all, the way those underwear are, how is that leech getting in there?
Correct.
But second of all, ow.
From the mind of Stephen King.
But this is not even a
I know.
terrible movie.
Do you want to let the dogs in before you get over here?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Good movie. Growing up and watching.
It's still a stellar flick. One of the ones I want to rewatch is The Outsiders. I remember that one.
And I remember that I was reading IMDb stuff on it where early on Stephen King is like proud of this movie because it's so close to his books.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job of it, I think, from what I understand.
Yeah, and which is saying a lot because a lot of Stephen King stuff is.
He did a lot of cocaine.
Well, like but a lot of it's been manipulated in a bad way. You see me already. You don't need to come see me.
Yeah. Echo. She's like, but there's someone here. I must bark.
You two are almost matching.
Are we?
Whoa! Earthquakes! Earthquakes! You can join in if you want.
Yeah,
we're on the post credit.
We're on the post credit show. Yeah.
If you can come sit on
I was
this
gonna
side,
say
'cause
sneak
it's
over
probably
by Chris.
easier. Yes, Brian, suck it in.
So.
As you put the hands over the camera.
That is Brian.
Sorry, I'm
Hey,
late,
we found
everybody.
him. We found
Yeah,
him.
I'm here.
I'm just finishing my list, so if you want to get your,
Oh, I haven't.
it's post credit. It's fine.
Oh.
Then I watched I don't know which one to go for first. Lego Movie 2. We'll go with that.
How was the Lego Movie 2?
I enjoyed that movie.
Was it as good as the Lego Movie 1?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
I enjoyed it. Some surprising, I guess a highlight for me in this was the surprising voice actors that were there.
Oh yeah.
Because as you know, for this, there's the character called main characters of the first one kind of get kidnapped.
Yeah.
And do that.
Yeah.
They even do a Justice League reference and a Marvel reference in there too.
Sure.
But they do that, and so they make the joke, because the Justice League went off too, that all we have left is retro Aquaman and a ripoff of Mary Poppins, like Linny Popkins or something. And he started with a spoonful of salt, making everything better. It's because they put the modern Aquaman in the movie, actually voiced by Jason Momoa.
Oh, cool.
And it actually looks like the character.
Oh, I think I
too.
knew that because Colby Smulders got kicked out for Gal Gadot.
She didn't.
Oh.
It's still Colby Smulders.
As Wonder Woman?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But Jason
Jason
Momoa
Momoa's
actually does the
Aquaman?
voice for Aquaman.
That's
I'm
cool.
like, that's awesome.
Well, and you know that's a 5-second bit, right, for him to...
Well, he did.
Even if he's in it longer,
he did the cannonball, and
Yeah.
he did his own thing. He's had fun with it.
Which is good. I think that's why Aquaman turned out so good, is because he had fun.
Well, he joked, and it's kind of other kind of news where he joked on.
Yeah.
He was part of a protest and said, "This is gonna block it's a telescope on Hawaii, or whatever they're doing."
Oh yeah.
And he's part of the protest group, and he's like, "This is gonna block the production of Aquaman 2."
Yeah.
Not
No.
happening. Yeah, he's having fun with it. It was good. There is the person who steals all the heroes. Rosa. Did not recognize her.
Rosa.
Stephanie.
Bees.
Yes.
Something. I looked into that because her voice is actually quite high pitched.
She annoys the hell out of me whenever she's doing Comic-Cons or something.
Yeah.
Like she does interviews and I'm like, oof, because she is very. Oh my God,
Yeah.
you will not believe it.
Like
I'm
very
like,
Valley Girl.
She didn't talk like that, but it was you. I IMDb'd it after.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's her. I'm like,
Yeah.
crap, I could not tell it was her.
B99, her voice is so different.
she's a really good actress because otherwise
She can, the way she can manipulate her voice like that.
because when she's done interviews, she's like, I'm so proud of the LGBTQ stuff that blah 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 blah, and I'm like,
Go away.
Rosa.
And then there is a scene where I can't remember her name now. The lead person, the girl,
Elizabeth Banks.
that one. Her character is crawling through a vent, and she runs into John McClane.
Sweet.
And he says, "I live in the vents." That's where I live. IMDb that. That's actually
Bruce
Bruce Willis.
Oh,
Actually
really?
voiced it for like 30 seconds.
Yep.
Or not even 30 seconds, like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Just said his one line and was out. It's awesome that they get these little
Cameos almost?
cameos in. Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure that's why we were never actually going to get like a Die Hard prequel because he would have stopped it.
Yeah.
I
When you
think he
listen
was
to
along
him
the same
talk
lines
about-
as Harrison Ford, where it's I just don't want to do this character anymore.
Yeah.
And
But
which
he
makes
is
sense.
John McClane.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
one else can be John McClane.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was a good movie.
Nice.
I do love the mixing of the human element in there.
Oh, they kept that up?
Well, Will Ferrell's voice was in the distance.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, because it kind of right off the bat, it kind of sums up what happened at the end of
Number one.
number one.
Yeah.
And
Evil business
as
super
things
good
were getting
all that
destroyed initially, Will Ferrell character is like, okay, I have a golf game. I'm out of here, and just skedaddles.
Yeah.
And if you guys have any issues, talk to your mom. So mom is the main person here, and it's 5 years later.
Yeah.
So the kids have grown up a bit, and
That's why the Duplo disappeared instead.
No, the Duplo were there.
But like, because the last movie ended with like a Duplo invasion.
No, that was a build whatever you want invasion. It was a crazy.
No, but at the bitter end, it was like all of a sudden like giant Duplo blocks appeared, and we're like, hello, and you're like, oh no, what's this new threat? It was like a post-credit scene or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And then Duplo appeared because this stuff looks like it's the Fairies brand stuff, like the.
It's but they mix it.
Yeah.
Like, it's the mixing of the Duplo and everything because there's 3 different Wonder Womans. One's a Duplo, one's both, and then one giant one.
Because the weird stick-like figures are the girls brand that they created that still work, like they still connect to the Lego stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like all the princess stuff comes in like those because you can dress them up.
Okay. Yeah, I know. So they mixed everything together. And like I said, the human element because the plot actually got super messed up. But yeah, it just everything seemed to go well. Like, it was
nice,
good movie.
Because that's the cool part about Lego is Duplo actually works with Lego. Like you can attach Duplo blocks to Lego blocks in real life.
Yeah.
And same with all of that, their pink brand that they came up with, which is the fairies and all of that jazz.
Yeah.
All of it still connects to Lego. Like all the Lego pieces, if Lego makes something, it connects together.
Yeah.
In one way, shape, or form. And it's like, interesting. So that's how some of those, like you see the big models that people make.
Yeah.
The back end or the inside is built with Duplo.
Oh, okay.
That's how they
to
get.
Just fill the
that's
volume
how they get
more.
height.
You're getting awfully
And
close
volume.
to the cord, eh?
She's like, I know. She's like, my name's Technical Difficulties. Remember that.
Yeah, so a good movie. Also watched Christopher Robin.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
I like that movie.
Neat little movie.
Yeah, I like that movie.
I liked it. I liked it. I don't know why I like Eeyore so much.
Because he's the best.
He's
Plain
like-
and simple, man.
I don't know why.
Because he's depressed without being depressed. Like it's like, well, it's a tale. It's not the best tale, but it's mine. And you're like, it's like the best way to live, man. like, you know, it's my life, and sure, it's not the best life ever, but it's mine.
It's accepted.
Like it's mine, and I'm cool with it. Like yours, depressed, but not depressed.
I don't know. He actually lit up. I didn't expect him to light up the way he did sometimes.
And that's the other piece is when he's happy, you just can't help but be happy because if the depressed donkey can be like, "Oh, cool," you're like, "It is cool."
Oh, I guess I'll sit here.
Yeah, I guess I'll just sit and wait. Okay.
Here's a Hufflepuff.
Yeah, I know. I love that one.
There's a
Everybody's
Hufflepuff.
freaking out, and he's like, "Oh man, there's a Hufflepuff. I guess we're just gonna die." You're just like, "Attaboy, you are."
I don't know.
There's a train coming at you. You're like, "Well, I guess this calls for the end."
I guess I'll just follow the waterfall.
Yeah. Which is this deep.
Not even that bad. Oh, look, the Hufflepuff is eyeing me up to eat me.
See, and I part of that movie that I do love is like when Christopher Robin does get to the 100 Acre Woods and Eeyore's going down the thing. Like Christopher Robin is back to being a kid at that point.
Yeah.
Where it's just like he holds his breath and preps to jump into that like creek,
Yeah.
and he's
It's like
ankle high, and
deep.
he's like, "Oh right,
I'm bigger.
I'm taller now." Whoops. I'm glad they kept Jim Cummings' voice for Tigger. Originally, there was supposed to be some English actor.
And even Eeyore's.
Eeyore was Brad Garrett,
Yeah.
who's been doing his voice for a while now.
Since the 90s.
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been mostly Eeyore, which is good. Like, they kept most of the voice cast,
Yeah.
which is good. But yeah, apparently Tigger, because they wanted to go closer to actually the source material,
Yeah.
they kept Pooh, because they're like, okay, we can't screw with Jim Cummings' Pooh.
Yeah.
because that's just iconic at this point.
Yeah.
But they were gonna try messing with Tigger, so Tigger was like an English bloke talking the whole time. And,
Oh, that would have ruined it. For
and
me.
audiences did not test well, so they're like, Jim, could you come back in and do Tigger's lines, please? Thanks.
Absolutely.
Yeah. D.I. double go or done. Like,
Yeah. He did a good job with it.
I loved the look of all of them. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
the
it
CGI
was-
in that movie is,
It's just a realistic look of them.
which is why we
Stuff
wanted
toys.
all of the damn plushies.
Exactly.
Like, and that's why I have to laugh with Disney not making enough plushies. Like Disney, and they admitted it. They're like, we did not expect them to sell it. It's like you made realistic looking plushies for a movie, and then didn't make enough to sell. Come on.
Now they know.
Well, now they know because they're everywhere. I got a text from one of my coworkers the other day because she was at the Disney store and she's like, I don't remember. Did you actually find all of them? And I'm like, yeah, because I went apeshit in the Disney store the one day. Because I went in there for one of those keys.
Yeah.
And went one half of the store because there's only so many keys. So, like, you kind of find a couple things, blitz to the front, and you're like, hi, I'm here to get my key.
Yeah.
And I've spent the requisite amount of money to get key.
Yeah.
Cool. And then on my way out, all of a sudden, there's the wall of them. And all we had left was Tigger because we had ordered Eeyore, because Eeyore's my guy. So my wife ordered him from, like, Japan or Korea. Like, he had a Disney store tag on him from another country
Yeah.
because we couldn't find them. Piglet we were miraculously found, I think, online or something stupid. Kanga we got right off the bat because no one wanted Kanga. And so much so that they don't make her anymore. Like, we have the limited run of Kanga.
Kanga.
Like, I don't know how we got, but we had Tigger left to buy, and I was at the Disney store, and I'm like, and go back up to the front. And they're like, did you get your key? And I'm like, yeah, I got my key. Need the Tigger. And they're like, oh, well, we're out of Kangas. Like, they don't ship any more of those. And I'm like, don't care. Have Kanga. Have Piglet. Have Pooh.
have everything.
Eeyore. Need Tigger.
No owl or rabbit?
No, because in the movie they were actually
I
real
know,
animals.
I know.
Yeah, so they did not release. So, in terms of actual, because my wife and I we're weird in that we have like 800 plushies at our house. They're all hiding in a room, but we have them. And that's one of those things is, like, we have Roo. They sold a Roo ages ago, and we're like, oh, that's crazy. So we have Roo. We have Pooh. We have Tigger. We have Eeyore. But it's one of those things, like, if we ever find Rabbit or Owl, instantly we will purchase them because we want to finish off the 100 Acre Wood. So we were kind of hoping, this movie would be, like, the one where we get them all.
Yeah.
But we just have to hold out hope that they re-release the other versions of them.
One
The
day.
cartoon versions. One day. If we just keep going to Disneyland, one day, damn it.
30th anniversary or 50th or
We're beyond that for Pooh. He's
100th.
old. He's
100th.
he's bloody old.
He's an old teddy.
100th, whatever.
Because Mickey just turned 90.
Yeah.
Because we got a lot of memorabilia from that little
but-
that little outing. But yeah, I thought it was a good movie.
Also, Ralph Breaks the Internet.
I thought that was good, not as good as the first one.
I like the first one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't find it as much. I know you guys said it was more of a Penelope. Is it Penelope?
Yeah, Vanellope.
Penelope?
Yeah.
Her, I didn't find it as much of her movie as you guys. I know you guys said that.
Yeah.
I didn't find it as much.
No, and because we rewatched it while we were camping, and there's the Ralph aspect to it of the
Well, it focuses mainly on the couple still,
Yeah.
but it's showing the separation,
yes.
right? It's not.
Like I say, I think my biggest thing with
Have you
it
seen
was
Yes.
Okay.
like love letter to the internet, which was awesome. But I did like the video game pieces, like him talking to Qbert Moore and all that, like that
Yeah.
jazz.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool, and I think they could have done one more movie of the
Okay.
arcade.
Yeah.
This is Genki or the Street Fighter guy.
Oh, Genki, yeah,
Oh.
where he waxes.
Does he wax?
Yeah,
No,
look at how
he
perfect. Like
No, he does the chest. Yeah, I can see it. Look, the hairs are
he has
full.
tufts coming out of his boots.
He totally waxes.
Yeah. Like those parts I really love, so it's taking that piece out, but then adding like if I need to get goggles, I know where to go, and you're like, Google
Yeah.
building. You know, like
Yeah. The tallest building.
tallest building. Damn Skippy it was.
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie. The only thing I could had a problem with, I guess.
Yeah.
Is 'cause I watched this on Netflix,
Yeah.
and I think you know where I'm going with this. They don't separate the English from from the French.
Oh,
in
so you
Canada.
start watching it in French.
No, it's English words they're speaking.
Yeah.
Any signage is in French.
Yeah. 'Cause we have the
Really?
Canadian or French.
Weird.
Yeah.
Disney, and it's not the first movie. I looked it up. It's not the first movie that did
No.
it. I think they said The Incredibles 2 did it.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think
They-
it's a
they-
licensing thing.
Is
Like
it?
they're not giving us the American.
Is it though?
I think so. I think it's. some
I
sort
thought
of
they said it was a
licensing
Disney
thing.
issue where they couldn't. They
Oh,
did, when
really?
when they distributed it to Canada, they didn't distinguish it.
Oh, I don't know, but yeah, I noticed that too. Like all the
And it
signage was in
mixed,
French.
too.
Yeah.
But it was mixed. Some of the words, some of the signage was in English, some of it was in French. When the pop-ups they were holding, all in French.
Yeah, it was very odd.
But some of them in the background were still English. And it's like,
And then all that one scene where they have all the instant messages coming up, they're all in French.
I'm like, I can't read that.
Weird.
Yeah.
You kind of miss some of the movie.
Yeah,
I
you'd
think-
miss some jokes.
Yeah.
Not like a huge.
No, not like a
Piece,
huge
but
amount,
yeah.
but still, you're like,
I was fortunate I could read it because
You,
went through
I-
you know
French.
some
So
French.
I was like, oh yeah, that's accessory.
I turned subtitles on. I dealt with them talking, but when it came up with like the profiles,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
it would say in English
Yeah,
what it was.
what it
I'm like,
was.
Okay. Cool.
Cool.
I have
That's
to
what
read.
that means.
I have to read.
Disney's trying to teach you French.
I don't want to know French.
Weird. That's weird to me.
And I looked for like an English version in
Yeah.
Netflix too.
That's what
and
I was
there is
just.
none.
Yeah.
It's just that's the one copy, and
Yeah.
See now, like I
French.
bought the Blu-ray,
Oh,
which
yeah,
comes
like,
with
I have it.
which comes with the code. So like I have the digital version on Google Play, which is how we watch it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's in English.
But I only watched on Netflix as I wasn't
Yeah.
home, so I just decided to watch it, and it kind of annoyed me right off the bat. Like, what is going on? Because the signage that popping up for when he's creating his
Yeah,
old
yeah,
pig
the first one.
Yeah.
in her game where he made the old
Yeah.
thing, and he put the signage up. It's all in French. I'm like, is that supposed to be to throw us off? Like, what is
Yeah.
this? And then it kept going. I'm like,
It's just very multicultural, guys. Come on.
I guess, but still, the only thing I would say I had an issue with.
yeah, I tried to like go with it and be like, "Oh, watch this in French, maybe." I was like, "No, it's because the voices are different, right?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, gotta watch it in English and just have French signage in the background."
It's so annoying. And then the final one I watched was the Mustache Gate, Mission Impossible Fallout.
Gotcha.
Ah,
like-
yes.
Mustache Gate. That sounds like an interesting film. But yes, Cavill's mustache.
Mustache issue.
Does he look good with the mustache?
He does.
No.
I liked it. You looked pretty good from a
I don't know.
heterosexual.
I like the Superman look better with the clean
You
shaven.
mean the digitally clean shave?
Sure.
I don't remember the first.
They did a good job shaving him digitally.
Ugh. In some scenes.
Isn't he gonna be the next Bond?
No, the
No.
next Bond's a chick, yo.
Oh, that's what it
James
was.
Bond?
Yep.
No.
Yeah,
I thought what's his face is coming back.
he is.
Daniel Craig.
Well, yeah, he's doing one more, but after that.
Nope. So this one's supposed to be Craig, and then the actual 007 of this movie is supposed to be a female,
Oh.
Okay, I
with
did
Craig
not know
coming
that.
out of retirement as Bond. So he's still Bond. He's just not.
I don't know. I know who the
007.
villain is already, but
That is what one person came out and was like, "It's girl power. She's gonna come out. And it's gonna be Bond. It's gonna be a chick. And it's gonna be awesome." And you're like, "Whoa, tone it down."
Jennifer Bond.
I don't know how they're gonna play it
What's
off.
the-
Jamie?
She's going to be the new
Jamie
00.
Bond.
She's going to be the new 007. So
Yeah.
he's still going to be James Bond, but the new 007 is going to
Because
be
the
him.
name goes with the title.
I thought the name, went with the title.
I get it. I don't know. I don't know how they're going
Because
to play
they
it
can't
off.
go by their actual name.
I know. I don't know how they're going to play it off. Maybe she'll just be James Bond. It's 2019.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Either way, yeah, he's.
he's not.
I was kind of hoping for Idris Elba because I think that would have been.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that would have
Badass,
been good.
he's so sexy.
He could pull off a tux look.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
He can be badass with suave.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
So good.
he's a DJ. He does music.
Yeah, I heard
He was
that
on a
too.
Hot Ones interview, and I'm like, wow, you do stuff.
Yeah.
Other than just, movie stuff.
Yeah.
It's amazing what these actors can do.
I know, but I always like it when I watch. The only Hot Ones interview, the recent one I haven't been able to make it through, was Stone Cold Steve Austin because I just don't know enough about wrestling.
Cold, yeah.
It started off pretty good, and then he started talking like about more stuff, and I'm like,
Well, because apparently he has his own show coming out or something.
He has,
Oh,
he's got
really?
one season down already where he interviews people.
Hmm.
Like he does some stuff and interviews people.
As
and
he
that-
smashes a chair over them.
No, it's just
It's stunner.
it's just Steve Austin
Steve
interviewing
Austin.
people. But like one of the interesting tidbits to that one was like, he wanted Stone Cold or Cold being part of his thing, like cold blooded.
Ah.
Okay.
And the WWF at the time was like, they gave him all of these like weather based names, and he's like, no, like cold blooded, you dum dums, like. WWE pays you morons to do like this is supposed to be your job. So, but yeah, and he crapped himself during a wrestling event once.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
Oh.
Gross.
They were doing an event in another country, and he's when you eat food that you're not used to,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and he's like, and the guy who's 600 pounds picks me up and drops me on the ground, and he's like, I gave him the signal like, let's bring it home, and he's like, because I hit the ground and crapped myself, and I'm like, awesome.
Gross.
He's like, good thing I was wearing black pants, and I'm like,
Why you wear brown pants?
that's right, you wear brown pants, man, brown,
Dark brown pants.
dark brown.
Yeah, I know, I found
Mission
everyone's-
Impossible.
I've seen it.
I've not, but I don't care.
I
'cause
found
I'm-
this really didn't pick up till the second half.
Yes.
It just
That's when things actually started happening.
yeah, like, it just felt like it was just going through the motions for the first
Yeah.
little bit of it, and then because it's a 2.5-hour movie,
It's a good two. It's not a bad 2.5 hours.
but it's just it took the
Is
last
the first half espionage enough to kind of carry you through, or
It's more character development.
Oh,
I guess.
you don't need
Yeah,
that.
it was
You don't
hard
need
to
that junk in a Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah.
so many twists and turns.
Yeah.
These Mission Impossibles are almost coming too predictable.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm finding.
Well, and I think that was the fun of the first couple was like,
Oh, is it really this person?
yeah, oh,
And
12
you're
masks later, it's like a
you're kind of
Scooby-Doo
you're
episode.
You're kind of expecting this.
Yeah.
Like it was even Cavilla's character made because he's not with that organization. He's from an outside organization in the movie, and him and his boss made the comment. Those guys are just a bunch of people walking around in masks. That's all they're doing.
And really, to keep that series going, you have to have people calling out their bullshit. Or the things that they've previously done. Like, you have to be able to stop them from their old tricks, so they have to find new tricks.
Yeah.
But he was dumb.
Yeah.
Because he was like, because when he first introduced him and he first hanging out with Tom Cruise's character,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, that's how you guys do it. I'm like, you're in this business. You
Yeah.
Should
know
know
no,
some
that's
of
not
these
some
of
tricks.
this. So, and they have to jump. They have to. I don't know what it's called. They have to jump out the plane and
Squirrel suits, or like the base jumping kind of thing where they
the helmets
parachute.
and everything with the oxygen masks.
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like a high altitude
Yeah.
jumper.
Oh, okay.
Where they had to do that.
Yeah.
And okay, we have to think this is a thunderstorm going on, and Phil's character like, screw this, and just jump, and it's like, do you not know this? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a different organization that just they deal with things differently.
I don't know.
They're not so much about the spy stuff. They're just
Go hard, go in.
Just muscle your way through, yeah.
It's just he didn't seem
Yeah, it didn't
all
seem
that
like-
bright.
Mm. And yeah, you need the characters to be smarter about it then.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he did a decent job after that, but it was the initial. Oh, this is what you do.
Yeah.
Why did the bad guys fall for this? Like,
Oh.
like, no. At first, he didn't. Like I said, he, as the movie progressed, it was better.
Yeah.
See, that's like I haven't seen the new Jason Bourne stuff either, but it's the same kind of aspect where you have to stay ahead of those characters. Like you can't just have Matt Damon doing the same thing every movie.
No, yeah.
Otherwise, you're just watching
does.
the same movie. I
He
know.
does, though,
And
yeah.
that's the piece is like I am watching the same film, and now there's a.
But in the new Jason Bourne, though, he's more experienced. He knows.
But that's
Yeah,
a piece. You either
everything.
learn from what you've done, or the bad guys learn from what you've done. So you have to change things up.
Yeah.
Like that's the piece that keeps things interesting. Is like I can't just put on a mask and put on a voice changer and do the thing. I have to. If I do that, the bad guy has to go like. I know it's you, dum dum. Like,
Yeah.
and
some
now you're
point,
in.
yes.
Now you're
Do
in.
that.
Right. But now they're making a Jason Bourne TV show where they're not allowed to use the word Jason Bourne.
Wait, what?
It's
Spelled
about
Bourne differently.
no.
Bjorn.
So it's
Bjorn.
Bjorn. It's
Jason
about
Bjorn.
We're
it's
swamp
about the
trans-
agency.
Oh, like.
So
So
Mark,
like what they did for Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, so like Mark Bernardin of like Kevin Smith's thing was one of the writers for an episode, and he's like, we're allowed to call him like the asset. We're allowed to call him like the one that got away. We're allowed to like all of these things. We cannot say the words Jason Bourne. And he's like, the commercial came out the other day for the show, and he's like, the first thing from the world of Jason Bourne, and he's like, so the like advertising people can use his name, but we can't.
Yes.
I wonder if it's like those things like you know when they say like same director as this movie kind of thing, but they don't have the license to.
What? Oh man, what
know.
movie keeps doing that? The one for the Bruce Springsteen movie. Like
Bruce Springsteen movie?
Yeah, the kid is like a East Indian kid, and
Blinded by the Light?
Yeah. Is that Springsteen?
Well,
like the music Springsteen.
I think it's Blinded by the Light.
I think that's the movie though. Yeah. Either way, that movie keeps going from the director of Bend It Like Beckham, and I'm like, those movies have nothing to do with each other. But the movie has nothing other than Springsteen's music to play off of, so they're like, find something. Bend It Like Beckham did okay from that director, because none of the actors are anybody. It's all a bunch of nobodies, which is good. Like I like seeing those movies, but
from the people that haven't
Brought
done
you.
a damn thing.
From a bunch of like awesome actors, or just advertise the movie.
Yeah, advertise the movie. Don't try and use.
Because that one I watch that trailer every time and I go, why should I care? And then I like look at my wife going, was Bend It Like Beckham good? And she goes, I don't know, I didn't watch it. And I'm like, I don't know. It seems like
Keira Knightley.
Soccer.
Yeah, I know what it is.
I've never seen it because I have no interest in
East Indian girl coming to England.
Like, yeah, something like that. Yes.
I haven't seen it. I'm going off what I see by the trailers.
I know the cover of the film. It has Keira Knightley on it.
And it has that word Beckham in it.
And the word
he's
Beckham.
a soccer player.
He is a soccer player.
And
there's
a
football
there's
player.
a pitch.
Oh, sorry,
There's a football pitch behind them, so I feel like it has to do with football.
Football.
But yeah, that one weirds me out the most. Like at least this one where it's like from the world of Jason Bourne, I just laugh that they can't use the words Jason Bourne in the show because clearly they didn't get enough licensing. Like Kevin Smith's like they got one.
They got one.
So they used it for the like marketing material.
The advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, would you almost say that you need just to watch the second half of this movie?
Yeah, like it's not
an abridged version of Mission Impossible.
Yeah, I'm trying. I liked it. It's just it felt like for the first half I didn't need to pay attention.
Yeah,
and none of that comes into play like with the second half.
Like
not to a point where like you
had a
need.
dream.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's about it.
Because that's the piece. Is like I said before when I was doing like Endgame. Part A plays to Part B. And even if you don't catch it subconsciously, you're like, oh, that's why. Oh, that's why. Oh, that's why.
I wonder it's because like you said, like these Mission Impossible movies, it's kind of like you kind of get what's going on. You
So
can kind of tell what the twist
development
is. Yeah.
Whoa, he's the agent that has been gone rogue so many times. Like,
yeah, you think you'd fire him by now, really?
You'd kill him.
Yeah, like he would be probably...
Or replace him with another actor that was supposedly supposed to take over.
Yeah.
Well, I thought Tom Cruise partially owns this Mission.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt he does.
Franchise. Like
he has the problem is there's two more.
Does.
Yeah.
They have to have two. There's two more coming out.
Of course there's
two more coming. What are they?
I don't know.
He's gonna run. He's gonna fall out of something, and this time he's probably gonna fly a plane.
He did a lot of running in this movie.
Of course he did.
Yeah,
and he has to find some stunt that he can do that he hasn't done before.
Well, that was like the new Top Gun. He was like, "I'll do the second one only if I can fly a fighter jet," and it's like. And in my mind, I'm going, "Are you insane? Who's gonna put you into a fighter jet?" They did.
They did.
The movie's done.
I know.
He lived.
The trailer looks pretty
I wasn't
cool.
worried about him living. I was more concerned about putting an actor inside of a fighter jet.
Yeah, like how much? Like something
Millions
$1
of dollars.
Yeah.
Like,
well, they put him in a helicopter, and they let him fly.
Did he fly a helicopter?
He flew it. That's what they did in this one. He flew, and they.
Oh, he actually flew it.
Yes, I knew he flew. Yeah,
he flew the helicopter itself, and he even said in the previews going into it. I don't know how true it is. Some of the moves they pulled, the helicopters do not do these moves ever.
He just winged it.
I don't know which part. I think it was,
some of them must be in those just moving like.
No, he refuses to do that junk, which I.
He does his own stunts.
So, and here's my thing: if I were an actor, I
how
would
he broke
totally
his
take
ankle.
every opportunity. If they're like, "Oh, we're gonna put you in a helicopter," and I'm like, "Can I learn to fly a
can I learn to fly
helicopter?" Because if someone's gonna pay for it,
Yeah.
and give me the time to do it, I'll learn to fly a helicopter. At
Get
least
my aviation
marginally, like
Ah!
I'm off the ground. Okay, I landed. I'm good,
Okay,
guys.
guys.
Thanks. I peed myself. We're good. Like, I'd be totally down for that. But then I'm gonna go like, "Hey, you person who's good at this, you take over." Or again, CGI, because
Yeah.
we have that power now.
Or I would want like actual like flight experience, get my aviation license, and
Sure,
then
like,
maybe,
I want-
like have that like
yeah.
like Harrison
John,
Ford or
dude,
something.
John Travolta, he has his own plane.
Yeah, he learned how to fly ages ago, though.
Yeah.
But that's the piece. Like, with all of the stuff that he does, I'm like, I would totally be down for learning how to do X or Y
Yeah.
or Z. But then I would let someone professionally do it on film.
Well, you
Because
assume the background is CGI'd. He's not actually flying through the mountains.
No.
would hope, yes.
So,
But Lord knows it's him, so, that's like Mission Impossible 2 when he's climbing a mountain
Yes.
without the rope?
Yeah.
he's doing it himself.
He's doing it himself, and it's just like, I don't understand. Like, he can act. Just let him act.
He can be Tom Cruise.
He used to be able to act.
He used to. Yes, he used to.
My bad. I'm sorry. I forgot I got old.
I will give him credit though for this movie. You can totally tell where he broke his ankle, and
Yes.
he kept going
He kept going. That
because
is.
he
was like
he
Jackie
did it.
Chan.
He did it, and then the scene kind of cuts back where he's crawling up, and as he's getting up, he's hobbling along, and you
yeah.
can see he finished that
Like
scene.
he shattered his ankle.
Yeah, I give him credit for that.
Yeah, sure. I
But
totally.
it's Scientology. It protects him.
Of course it does. Again, that's how he owns part of the movie.
Yes. Scientology
They probably
farming.
own part
Yeah,
of the
they
movie.
own probably own
Oh,
part of
me
the.
supporting this movie supports them. I'm done.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tom Cruise, if I can just like
Oh,
throw
I'm
this
done.
this one in here.
I'm done.
Look at
Oh.
you go. What a segue.
Nice.
I saw The Mummy. Because
I still have not, and I own it.
It's,
I own it. You gave it to me.
It's not worth it.
Does he
'Cause-
run?
Yes.
Does he fall out of something?
Yes.
See, look at
break
us.
Because,
going.
like,
something?
speaking of Tom Cruise, like, after watching this movie, like, your comment about
Acting.
he used to be able to act. I completely agree.
Sure, risky business, all of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, even Days of Thunder.
Yep.
The Mummy was a weird one.
The Mummy, it was Tom Cruise. Like, it was like, you could say that it was Ethan Hunt, and I'd be like, yep, looks exactly like this Ethan Hunt.
It's just the Mission
Acts
Impossible
just
guy
like
digging
Ethan
up
Hunt.
bones.
Yeah.
He didn't even dig up bones.
No. They
Is
fell.
he supposed to be an archaeologist?
No.
No.
Well, that's dumb.
He's a military
Everybody
guy.
knows
He's
that
a military
archaeologists
guy.
are badasses.
He
Yeah.
kind of stumbles into everything. So,
See,
almost
that's
literally.
See, and that's what was cool about the old mummies, Brendan Fraser. Again, the Indiana
He
Jones
was
type.
with an
Yeah.
archaeologist.
Yeah. He was just escorting an archaeologist.
Was she the love interest?
Yes. Still.
Can I write
I
movies
still like
or
that.
what?
I still like that better than what Tom Cruise. This movie was just. You could totally tell that they were trying to set up for something bigger.
So I almost spent too much time doing that.
See, and that's the problem with, like, Marvel did it right. Let's do
Marvel
do
right.
Iron Man
Let's see where
and hope that it's good, and we'll tease the Avengers thing. And
Yeah.
if it doesn't pan out, it doesn't pan out.
Nick
'Cause-
Fury went away.
And
Yeah,
Nick Fury,
Nick
yeah,
Fury
like
went away.
Iron Man just told him to fuck off.
Yeah. Because Russell Crowe is right off the bat in this, like, as the. You could say they put him in that Nick Fury role.
Yeah.
Nick Fury role of Sammy J's role. Yeah, like he was gonna be the head of this organization that was gonna lead everybody. Do you care if I spoil some stuff?
Go nuts.
So,
Yeah,
like-
I've seen it. So
Okay. Like Russell Crowe is oh my god.
Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah, Jekyll and Hyde,
Yeah, I knew that.
right? And it's just
I don't know. Was he
I
trying to
would've-
set it up though?
like
He was
he
trying
was
to
the head
con-
of that organization.
He was trying to control that, but he wasn't
Yeah.
a good organization.
No, he sucked. He kind of messed up. But the whole premise of this was I was hoping for like the Dark Universe was going to be the monsters stay the monsters.
Right.
And because by the end of this movie, it's almost the monster transfers power to a hero, and now this hero has that monster's power.
But is that where they were going with that?
It
though?
looks like it. I felt like that's what they're
I
gonna
thought he
do.
was trying to hunt them down.
I don't Because Tom Cruise has the mummy's
I
power
know.
now at the very end.
He had the strength.
And he could control the dust storms.
Could he?
Yeah, after he was riding away.
I don't
in the
remember.
sunset,
Obviously, I don't remember
there's
this movie
a
that well.
giant dust storm just following him. And just him.
And he'll sit there and go, oh, and we'll go to a giant wall. And
Then Brendan Fraser shows up
Shows
and
up.
kills
shoots
Tom
him.
Cruise. Yeah,
That's how this movie's going to go.
it would have if it would have actually done well.
Yeah. And I think that was the issue was, and I read an article later, like Tom Cruise put his hand in the cookie jar and wanted more cookies of it for himself. And that's what kind of ruined it, and that's why the first director of this left. I think it said there was a director that left.
Oh,
'cause
okay.
It's like, well, okay, this is Tom Cruise's movie, not my movie.
I think the biggest issue with those flicks for me, like just reading things, is and even seeing trailers, I'm like, they've made an action movie.
Yes, it's not a
When-
monster movie.
Yeah, like when they said Dark Universe, I'm like, oh cool, we're gonna get a slew of horror films where eventually like
Well, they even had the actors set up.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp was supposed to be the
Some-
Invisible Man.
Visible
Yeah.
Man.
but that's what I mean, like eventually it was supposed to
Benicio
be
del Toro's-
the like Benicio del Toro was supposed to be Wolfman.
Oh, Wolfman.
I thought that was
Oh yeah, because they did make Wolfman,
They
and
did
they
make
wanted
Wolfman.
that to be part of the Dark Universe.
They wanted Dracula Untold to be part of the.
Oh,
yeah.
right,
too.
that's what it was.
But it wasn't. I think, no,
But again,
it,
you
no, it
make-
wasn't. It was the Bond villain from
Oh, right.
the good guy. Not the guy with the when he took out his teeth or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
His face went.
Yeah.
That guy was supposed to be Frankenstein.
Okay.
Okay.
Because that's the thing. Like I was
had it
really
set
when
up.
they announced Dark Universe, I'm like, oh cool, we're gonna get like the monsters, and then eventually the monsters all not necessarily together as a group, but simultaneously.
Yes.
There's a problem, and then you send out Van Helsing, and
Van Helsing. Yes.
like you get the heroes of those stories to subsequently come together to beat off the big bad guys.
That's what I was
All
hoping
at
for
the
too.
same time.
Nick could write this movie. Universe.
We went over.
Universe.
Yeah.
We went through this. Netflix just gave
So many
the guys
times,
who
yeah.
wrote Game of Thrones over
Yeah,
$100 million.
I heard.
They can give us.
So I
lesser
said
sum.
for 50,000 a year, I'll
You'll
come
write
up with basic ideas.
Yeah.
Someone else can run with them. Like I don't have time to write, but I can do
No,
a basic
no.
screenplay outline.
Yeah. And I would watch that movie.
So you can do this.
Well, because that's the thing. Like essentially, you put like the group a group of extraordinary gentlemen
Yeah.
together.
Yes.
Except it's
Villains.
well, and then you put the other side together of Van Helsing and these people, and like
But is Frankenstein really a villain?
maybe
Frankenstein's monster really a villain?
no. So he could end up on Van Helsing's team.
He
Yeah.
could turn against him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's the monster that flips to the other side that gives you some
Yeah.
like extra oomph on your team.
I
You
don't
can get
think
Hugh
that-
Jackman
yeah.
back as
They
Van
get
Helsing.
Yeah. It was
he's
Kate
totally-
Beckinsale.
No,
You know what, Kay? For everything those
No,
movies,
she can't come back. She did.
Oh.
she could come back as a vampire.
She did.
She could come back
She
as
did.
as a zombie.
You know, leader zombie.
No, there.
Yeah, no, like it's one of those things where you do have enough heroes in those universes.
Yeah,
We have
that
one.
you
We
could
only
have.
have Van Helsing.
I know there's other people in those stories.
Yeah.
Not that they're heroes, but like you could build them up to be heroes.
Yeah.
The,
Detectives, like the
The
detectives
antagonists
for.
of the other side of things.
And I would have made things like the heroes were the antagonists,
Yep.
and the monsters were the protagonists. Like
Yeah.
even though they were,
Yeah.
it's almost like the Thanos movie or the Infinity War.
Yeah, you tell it from their side.
Make
of
it a
the thing.
Thanos movie.
And again, their movies should be subsequently leading up to everything. The bad guys are winning.
Yes.
And maybe in that last movie, the bad guys all team up, and that's their downfall.
Don't team up. Solo.
Solo movies the whole way through that are
Or
just slightly
like
connected.
each monster goes to a different country and starts, and that's how they end the world.
They rule the world in different continents.
And that's
Yeah.
how they end it.
Echo, how many times do I have to let you out?
But the one thing I did
Mummy
like
would be
was
in Africa. Because that's
Yeah,
where
yeah,
that's
yeah,
where
yeah.
the sand is. Right?
yeah, Jekyll and Hyde would be like Europe.
Parts of it, yep.
Well,
Hunchback could be
but
France.
Dracula would be Europe though.
He could
Or
be
he'd
Eastern,
be
like-
Asia.
Eastern Europe, Asia.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Vlad was more of a Asian
yeah,
emperor guy.
yeah.
The
Not
Invisible
Emperor.
guy is North America.
No
'cause
one
they're-
cares about him.
He's not really. He's just a peeping tom. Let's just.
North America.
I guess. Yeah. I guess that
Come
is-
on. And then you have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde running South America.
Get Bigfoot in there for Canada.
Bad guy.
Okopoko.
Someone has to run.
Loch
the
Ness
Arctic.
Monster.
Pogo.
Bigfoot can go run the Antarctica.
Chupacabra in South America.
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga
Yaga.
in Russia.
And then it all connects to the
anyways.
Hellboy universe.
Oh, good.
The one thing I did really like about the Mummy though was
The running.
Even the running was just like,
It was a straight on run, though. It was
yeah.
Mission Impossible was a side run. Mummy is like a straight
He never
on.
turns when he runs.
No, he can't. He wouldn't. He would
Yeah.
lose speed. He always goes in a straight line.
Just
If he turns,
Amazingly.
you don't get to see the
it
turn.
Yeah. But the good thing they did about the Mummy was the actual like zombie mummies. Are you trying to find a movie where he turns?
Where does he turn?
Mission Impossible.
It's like Zoolander. Well, you don't see the turn though.
Yes,
you just
do.
assume.
Because he stops and goes, which way am I supposed to go?
Oh, okay.
And
That's
then
how he
begins
turns.
running
and then he
straight
begins running
again.
straight again. He can't run and
Can't run a
turn
curve.
Yeah, he can't run the curve. He has to stop dead and then take off again.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go through my history of Tom Cruise movies.
Yep.
Good
But they
thing
do
I
the
have a
mummies
list.
really well, like
that's
the actual zombie mummies.
Yeah, I thought.
You
Well,
mean
I
you're
thought the
not
mummy
getting
herself was good.
Yeah. They did that.
you're not
good.
getting a Scorpion King-esque, you know.
No.
Ah.
And they move really like they have that horror movie move too,
Yeah,
which is great. And that's about as
horror movie as it
horror
gets.
movie as it gets, and the rest is a Tom Cruise action movie.
Yeah, and that's where I fell off. Was I'm watching him fall out of planes, and
Yeah.
I'm watching him run straight, and I'm like, this is just a Mission
It's a
Impossible
Tom Cruise
film
movie.
with a mummy in it.
His actual name is weird.
Yeah.
Did the Scientologists rename him?
No, his full name is Thomas Cruise Mapplethorpe.
Mapother or something.
Mapplethorpe
The fourth. Yeah.
Oh,
But Tom
Wait,
Cruise.
what was Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Well, because it sounded more star.
Well, there
What
was-
the star.
yeah.
name?
Well, because they have to take names for the Actors Guild, so if their name's already taken, they have to come up with a new name.
Oh right.
Like Nicolas Cage is not Nicolas Cage.
None of them are.
No, but he actually shares a name with someone who's already like he
The
had to
Actors Guild.
physically change his like everything because it matched exactly to someone else. So he's like, all right, I'll go
I
with
can find out.
yeah,
Nick Cage.
yeah,
Collateral, did he run?
huh?
I don't think Collateral he ever ran. He was just in a car.
Sure. Well, you didn't watch it because Jamie Foxx was in it.
Yeah, see, that's I'm like,
Oh,
I remember the promos
Days of
for
Thunder,
that.
he was a driver.
No, so there was at one point in one of the Mission Impossible movies, he got training for running, like sustained fast running.
Yeah.
And since then, it's like in his contract that he has to do sustained long running,
running.
to show off the fact that he can do sustained long running.
Like Days of Thunder was a good movie where he could still act too. Days of Thunder, Rain Man,
Oh, Rain Man.
so good.
Rain Man was mostly Dustin Hoffman carrying that.
Oh
flick.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, the Actors Guild is weird. You have to change your name. But it was funny. There was a picture of the lady who played Pam, Jenna
Fisher.
Fisher.
Jenna
Thank you.
Fisher.
But she was on The Price is Right a bajillion years ago,
Oh really?
and not on it, but she was in the like contestants group. But
Yeah.
she's holding up her name tag, and it says like Rhonda, and everybody's like, and they're like, when they start acting, they choose a name that
Yeah.
plays well on screen and off the tongue. Rhonda Fisher, not so much.
Rhonda's not a popular.
Rhonda's not as popular a name, or as like, and again, like Jenna's a fairly common, easy to say, rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Like
Agreed.
Guillermo del Toro can get away with having his name because one, it sounds cool,
Yeah. And he's
and two, he's weird enough
And he's
with
weird,
his
yeah, he's
movies.
Is it because he had an Nick Cage had an because of his uncle?
Coppola?
No.
I don't think so. I forgot now. Yeah, I'm not
No,
sure. if it was
that's what
Nicolas
his
Cage. I
dad
know.
name was Coppola.
I know.
A brother of director Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh, I know. That's how he got in.
So
The Coppola family's got some, pull
Yeah.
in Hollywood, just a little bit.
Italian mafia.
Well, a little bit of pull in Hollywood, just a tad.
just a tad.
It's not like his daughter's directing now, and
So that's why he changed this to Coppola because
Yeah.
he was probably named Francis.
who was it?
Anywho,
Either way,
Oh.
there was some actor that did that.
Yeah. I haven't done too much else. I've been passing out at 8 p.m. every day.
that's okay.
Sorry, guys.
I mean, well,
Like I even went to bed last night at 10. I woke up at 10, and I still feel tired. I don't know what it is. But I started Overlord, because it's on Netflix.
The movie?
Oh, the movie.
The movie,
Overlord.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Overlord.
I passed out midway through it, but it didn't seem bad.
So you're still in a World War II movie.
Yes.
Cool.
I have not got past World War II yet.
Things are gonna change.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
That was the most shocking, surprising movie that I've
No,
seen.
okay,
I keep
I
waiting
saw
for
the
this.
trailers for it, so I knew.
I didn't. Like I knew
didn't- I
nothing.
haven't seen the
I
trailers.
legitimately wanted to see Johnny English that day.
And me and Tony said no.
And you and Tony said no, and then Tony... you threw out the Halloween movie?
Yes.
And I think Tony said no.
No, I can't remember why he said no to that, though.
And then you both agreed on Overlord.
No, I was like, okay, whatever.
Right, like he said Overlord or whatever it was. And I'm like...
I seen the trailer for Overlord, so I was like, whatever. Like,
And at that point, I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to go have pizza and watch a movie. Like, I don't care. And then we go in there, and I'm like...
we made him mad not seeing Johnny English.
I still haven't seen Johnny English. I own it.
So now it's his own fault.
Now it's my own fault. Well, so here's my problem.
It was
with
our fault at
Here's my
first.
problem with Johnny English is Johnny English came out, and then Google Play, like they do,
Oh yeah.
releases the bundle of all 3 movies. And I'm like, well, for the price of one movie, I get 3 movies or whatever it happens to be. So I bought them all, and then now I'm like, now I've got to watch the first one, the second one, and the third one. I gotta watch.
You gotta watch these all, and they just.
Still Nick. His first name was still Nicholas.
It's another actor I'm thinking of.
It was, but his last name was Coppola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he changed that.
He had changed
Yeah.
the cage.
It's someone else that had an actual matching
Nicholas
name.
Kim Coppola. Anywho, so it's good so far.
Yeah, it's a war movie. I have not gone to the twist. I have no idea what the twist is. I just know there's one coming because you guys.
I am really excited for you to find out the twist.
I know. I'm just like.
Legitimately, that's like I go into this thing and I'm like, they're making a fairly good World War II movie.
Yeah, it seemed really
Especially if
good.
you haven't seen the trailers.
Okay, I have not seen
Yeah,
the
like
trailers.
yeah, then
Don't
we'll
watch
stop
the
talking
trailers.
about it. But like that's essentially it. Is like, I thought they did a pretty good World War II movie. It was
Yeah.
pretty graphic. They're going through a lot of the stuff.
The way it starts is very like war. Like,
Yeah.
Like.
The airplane.
Yeah, the airplane scenes.
getting
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
I've seen that. I don't know what
Yes.
part you're at.
They're on the ground. They are on the ground.
That's the beginning. He
And
I'm
they-
says,
just checking how
And they
far I
went
got
into
it.
the French lady's house.
okay.
Yeah.
That's as far as I got. It's not very
Yeah.
far.
But yeah, otherwise, and then all of a sudden, yeah, there's a twist, and I'm like, oh, this got different.
Yeah.
Yep.
This became
They
a
have, to,
different.
they have to blow up the antenna in a church or something.
That is their
That's the
mission.
goal.
Yes.
Then I fell asleep. Not because the movie was bad or anything. It's
You've
just
just been-
I don't know what it is.
Wiped.
Yeah. And then so because I know I don't know if can stay awake yet.
Yeah.
I've just been rewatching Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And then that's when I finally noticed when you're talking about Rosa. Yeah, in episode 1 and 2, it's a lot higher. Like not as high as her real voice. And then as it gets to like episode 3, it's lower.
Well,
and
because
then
she found the character.
she found the character, and then 4 and on, it's Rosa.
Yeah.
Rosa's voice.
Rosa. Oh, Doug.
Oh,
Judy.
Doug J. That episode is so good. When it first showed up,
I'm excited for next season, just with
Yeah.
like I saw.
With what happened?
Well, I saw their Comic-Con stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like they released their Comic-Con panel online.
Yeah.
The person doing the like, the question asker person, the moderator. Sorry, that's the one. Sucked. And then they only had time for like this many audience questions. But it was very like, what's gonna happen? Like you didn't really get a sense of a lot of like last year where they were like, we're moving to NBC. Like, are we gonna get a Scully and Hitchcock episode? And it's like, yes. And it's like, well, you know. And then like I think the only thing they really brought up was, you know, they said that Terry would lose the title of, you know, the Cinco de Mayo thing come Halloween. Clearly, you're not doing another Halloween episode because, you know, like. And they're like, we're doing another heist episode. Like, we have to do it. Like, they're like, for our sanity, we have to do a heist episode because they're the funnest episodes to do. Like, we have to do
We
it.
have to do one.
So, like, we're going to get one again. They just have to work it in as to how. Like, some lady brought her dogs and was going to ask a question about Cheddar. Like, 2 of the questions were about Cheddar the dog, who passed away. And they're like, what more can we say? He passed away. It's a shame. Like, we're saddened by
Maybe
him.
that'll be an episode.
Or are they gonna let him go? Like, do you think they'll let the dog?
No, because his sister took over.
Oh, his
like,
sister did
last
take
season
over.
or something.
Oh, okay. So they did.
Like
get
they've
a
always had
replacement.
2 or 3 Cheddars, but the main cheddar,
Cheddar
passed away.
Poor Kevin.
So, I think they want to try and involve him more in the show.
Kevin.
I like that actor. I don't know his name.
He's
but
stellar. He's in The Good Place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like him in The Good Place.
He was in something else recently too.
He
Yeah.
was in something else.
I've learned how to fight back.
I feel like it was something nerdy that he was in.
Yeah. Was it Endgame or? I don't know. I'll
That's
figure it out.
Be it.
But yeah, I like Kevin.
And that's
But Brooklyn Nine-Nine's a
is that
solid
everything
show.
for you?
Yes, that's everything. That's all I've done.
Okay.
And slash sleep.
Slash sleep.
I don't know.
We can't
There.
talk about sleep since
My dream. No.
my dreams.
I don't even remember my
I
dream.
don't dream, so
I don't remember if I do.
I remember
don't
that
get-
I
never
sleep,
get
but I don't
into-
remember what the dream is.
I never got into a deep enough sleep to dream.
No. I don't know.
That's a me issue.
It's a you issue.
I don't think I don't remember them.
Then you probably
If I
don't.
do.
Anywho,
Either way,
I'm still looking up what Kevin,
Yeah.
what else Kevin is in. I don't know if the viewers want to share.
with that, everybody, as Brian's frantically looking, we'll slow play this. Check
Mark
out
Evan Jackson.
check out barrelrollnews.com for all the links to our social media
Jumanji.
sites.
Oh, yeah,
Yes, he was the principal.
Yeah, he's the principal in Jumanji.
Yeah,
and he
that's
was in Kong Skull Island.
I didn't say Kong.
Right.
Please
I said
like and
Endgame.
subscribe
Oh,
to our
right.
stuff.
That was way off.
Are we good? We
DuckTales
figured
too.
it out.
He's in DuckTales.
Of course, everybody's DuckTales. So check out our stuff. Please like and subscribe and join us next week when we do this all over again. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.